wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ Show, so start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. It's Jason, talks like a spaz, and they love to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ Show.
Hey, what is going on? Welcome to the KVJ Show. Hello, everybody. Good to see y'all back here.
Hello.
Monday. A little summer vacation. It's nice.
Oh, so nice.
I enjoyed it a lot more when I was in school, though. It used to last, it felt like 3 months. We get a week now, but, you know, it's all good.
Yeah, it's a little quicker than 3 months.
Yeah, a little bit quicker. But we're back from our summer vacation. The big old 4th of July weekend, so we'll unpack lots of adventurous things that happened over the last 10 days or so.
Lots happened.
Yeah, lots happened, yeah. So we got a lot to get to, so thanks for everybody who came back. We're back on KVJ TV. You can dial us up right now on your flat screen TVs. Just look for the KVJ Show. Go to kvjshow.tv.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you thinking about today, Bird?
So I'm trying to figure out, is this week 2 of July right now? I think it is. And if I am correct, that means it is Nude Recreation Week. Who's coming with me?
Yeah, you know, actually, sadly, you just missed it.
I did.
Yeah.
It was last
It
week.
just ended. In fact, they had a big event yesterday to cap off the final day of Nude Recreation Week. So you just missed it. We were off on Nude Recreation Week, and I celebrated every day.
Okay, that's weird because the first week they're going to give it credit with would be July 1 through 2 or 3, and that would be week 1, I guess. Because according to my numbers, it would be week 2 right now, but clearly I am wrong. And I celebrated too, Kevin. I swam so much in my pool naked over the bridge.
Good.
America.
That's
Yeah.
good.
And my fence isn't really working that well, so I'm sure you saw a little bit of a moon.
Yeah, they do this thing now to wrap up Nude Recreation Week, where they try to get as many nude swimmers as they can. And they do that on the Treasure Coast. And I think last year they had 431. I didn't hear how yesterday's event went. So hopefully they were able to break the record if there was any nude swimmers out there.
Well, I've tried doing jumping jacks naked, and I got to tell you, man, it really hurts the ball area. You have to have support down there. Is that how it is with the ladies?
You have big slappers.
I got slappers, but is that a common thing? If you don't have underwear and you are freeballing it and you're doing jumping jacks or you're running in place, does it hurt?
I think anytime you have anything loose,
Okay.
it's going to hurt.
Even for you. If you don't have you in a bra and you're running, then babies are hurting.
They be slapping.
And it hurts.
Yeah.
They do, man. I had to take a break the other day.
Yeah, it was the Treasure Coast Naturists that had their annual Skinny Dip event yesterday at Blind Creek Beach in St. Lucie County.
If you saw the old balls, you wish you were blind.
Yeah, you'd gouge your eyes right out.
If we all had a skinny dip together, could you do it or would you be uncomfortable?
I think it's fine once you get in the water. It's just the going from the shore in. That's the hard part.
All right, everyone close their eyes and then jump in the water.
No, I know nobody wants to see this, so.
No, but only reason why you'd want to see this is just to get material.
I don't know. I kind of feel like we'd get at least 4 likes.
Oh, we would. We would definitely get interaction on social media.
What you got on your mind today, Virginia?
Well, a girlfriend came over yesterday, and we had a little party for Rocco for his birthday, and she found this at the $5 store and said she wanted me to give it to you, Jason.
Ooh.
It's a floaty for your pool.
Oh my gosh, I need a floaty. That's
I know.
amazing. I went to go buy floaties at Walmart, and it did not go well.
Why?
Well, it's. I'm always bagging on Walmart. They didn't have the proper things. I went to go get something. They again didn't have the key for the booth that I needed.
Oh, Keith took the key home again.
Oh my gosh, Kevin, can we? It's a little early for this.
Whoa, okay. I don't know if that's a floaty, actually.
That is not
Yeah.
a floaty.
Yeah.
And I am so happy you got this for me because.
Yeah.
It goes in your pool.
Is that really a pool
Is that
thing?
for your
No,
pool?
it's not for your
I
pool.
didn't think so, yeah.
Say,
It's a blow-up doll.
These are not cheap.
I know, and she found it at the $5 store, and she's like, I got to get this for Jbird.
Cheapo, huh?
Bargain.
Cheap blow.
It's a good deal.
I'm tickled pink. Thank y'all for thinking of me.
Okay. Let me see. Over my break, I was able to do a little binge watching, trying to find good things to watch. And I know sometimes it could be a challenge. There was something I saw that was pretty good. It is on Amazon Prime. If you ever watch that little platform that's there, if you're one of those Amazon people, you can get it for free. It is called The Terminal List. And if you like military, Navy SEAL, revenge type things, it's one of those shows. It is, I think, 8 episodes, maybe an hour long. It takes you about 8 to 10 hours to get through it. Chris Pratt is in it. He must have some deal with Amazon because I think he keeps making movies and series for them. But it comes from a book, The Terminal List, and if you want to see a revenge-seeking Navy SEAL go and kick butt, then that's a great series.
Love revenge movies.
Yeah, so I thought it was pretty solid. So that I would give as an A. So always looking for something good to watch. So if you are as well, you can check that out. One of the things that I didn't go see over the weekend, but I was kind of curious to see how it would go, was they released that new Thor movie. And I was trying to see if there's anything that's going to unseat Top Gun Maverick as the top movie for the summer. And it did well. Like expected, it made $143 million, so it was right on there with the projections. But some people are saying that it's kind of corny or just too jokey. It's almost like a kid's movie.
Some of they can be a little jokey at times. You don't want to go too jokey.
Yeah, and they kind of started doing it, and I think it worked because they lightened it up a little bit. It wasn't so intense. So like, oh, you kind of like to laugh in these superhero movies, but some people are thinking that maybe they took it a little bit too far on this one.
Too quippy?
Yeah, just goofy. They kind of almost made Thor, who's, the god of thunder and all this kind of stuff, just go, oh, look at Thor.
That's a banana peel.
Whoa,
I
look at me. Oh, I'm Thor. And so I think he's kind of got a little bit more of that attitude. In fact, if you look on Rotten Tomatoes, Love and Thunder got a critic score of only 68% and an audience score of 81%. And Ragnarok, back in the day when he's a little bit more serious and intense, it got a 93 from critics and 87 from audiences. So even though it did well at the box office, it's, I don't know if it's as awesome as what everybody was hoping. So we'll see. So I'm kind of pulling for Top Gun Maverick to win the summer season. Tom Cruise was at Wimbledon over the weekend. Did you see him? They kept showing him sitting in the crowd.
I saw clips of it, yeah.
Gosh, he looks so good. I mean, every time I see he was in a nice suit. He looked great. I can't get over how amazing he looks.
Maverick is riding high these days.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Tom Cruise is back, y'all. So it still continues to do well. Minions, The Rise of Gru was a distant second. $45.6 million it made over the box office weekend. All right, looking for a good movie to watch. Do our old favorite movies from back in the day, do they stand the test of time? Do they hold up? We always run our young suits through a movie challenge every single weekend to see which classic movie he watches and what he thinks about it. Which movie did you watch over the weekend, Suits?
This weekend it was Footloose.
That's right. I forgot we talked
This is
about
always my signature movie to go to of ones that don't necessarily hold up, because I remember I loved it as a kid, and then I watched it about 20 years later, and there were so many parts I was like, how did I watch this and not be like, this is terrible? So what did you think of Footloose?
You guys have given me a lot of good movies to watch over the last few weeks. This was not one of them.
Okay.
It was so corny
stunned.
and cheesy and stupid. I mean, the angry dancing scene was so over the top. I mean, he's like flying through the air, and
That's the one that got me where I watched it. I was like, how did I ever not? It's so...
it's just so bad.
It's so bad.
Haven't we all done that before? It's very therapeutic. You just dance it out, baby. Dance out your problems.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
I mean, it's so cheesy.
Well, and the problem with it, too, is... as he's doing his angry dancing, he starts doing the parallel bars?
Yes.
And it's supposed to be on a pipe, a steam pipe. But the steam pipe is give, because if you know anything about gymnastics, that bar's got to give and flex with you. That's how you get the velocity to be able to flip your body around it. And so this supposed metal pipe is bending and moving as he's going around it. And he just coincidentally has like chalk on his hands.
He does. He does. Yeah, no, it's pretty rough. And I love how they're not allowed to dance.
It's such a
against the
ridiculous
law.
concept to begin with. Illegal to dance. From start to finish, that was not my movie. I did not enjoy it.
Suits Rotten Tomato score?
15. I really did not like that movie, guys.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, I just kind of had this look of what the hell am I watching the entire time?
It's pretty. Watching it as an adult now, it is really bad, but awesome because it's so bad.
Yeah, it's got like this awesome corniness to it, but no, it was not a very good movie.
Wow. Okay. Well, the big question is when you wind up doing other movies. I don't think they ever made a sequel to Footloose, though they did reboot it, and I think it was
Because they needed to do that.
Yeah, I don't know if they did because I don't know if it was that big.
They had to retell that story.
Once wasn't enough.
Did they put was Miles Teller in the Footloose reboot?
That cat has been in everything in the last 5 years.
He really
Yeah.
has. And somebody just texted in that apparently, because he's been very vocal, as he should be, on his social media, posting out photos from Top Gun Maverick. You know, he's one of the big stars in that. And apparently there is talks of making Top Gun 3.
I knew it. Well, it's too
And
successful.
I don't know. Now look, I go on and on about Top Gun Maverick. I loved it. I thought it was absolutely amazing. I mean, is there another one, do you think? I guess it's
Yeah.
all about the writing.
Yeah, when something makes that much money, there is another one.
You gotta be prepared. It's not gonna be that good though. Because when I asked,
This one was good.
I know, and I when I asked y'all, does it lend itself to another movie? Kevin was kind of like, I don't know.
I probably where it is, and it's not that you can't. I guess it's just that I'm scared that they will. And keep in mind, this had 30 years to make it. It sat on the shelf for a long time, and I think they knew it was going to be really good, and that's why they kept pushing it back because of the pandemic. But now you've got to write a whole new script. You got to film it, and how long? And Tom Cruise is working on all these Mission Impossible movies. So when are they actually even going to get to it? When's it going to happen? I don't know.
I feel like they're going to do it, but it's not going to be very good. Just because it made too much money for them not to do it.
It's just
Right.
one of those things where you do. Have you ever done that where you do something and you're like, "Well, I look good," and you walk away and you don't come back and touch it, and if it had you do another one, you're gonna just duff it and it's gonna
Yes.
ruin all the magic of what you just made. I just feel like this is
Every
what,
single Halloween movie he makes us do.
Yeah, if you look at my career, that alone is just how I roll.
yeah. I just don't know. I'm very nervous that they're going to go back to the well one too many times, and then you're gonna walk away from the Top Gun franchise and be like, all right, it wasn't that great after all. Just, I don't know. That's my thought. Leave it at 2. All right. Thank you, Suits, for the review. Any other thoughts on the movies from over the weekend? You can let us know. Anybody saw Terminal List? That's the one that I'm giving a solid grade to. You got Thor, the new one. If you want to give your thoughts on that, you can hit us up as well. 877-979-WRMF. Well, we definitely had a very entertaining long break. And Virginia, you got to go and check out Disney with the family. Your son Rocco had a birthday, and so you guys were celebrating that. I saw your videos. Are pretty cool. You checked out that Star Wars world.
Yeah, you're going to love it. When you finally get up there, Jbird, you feel like you're in the movie.
I don't know if I'm gonna love it as much as Rocco though. Rocco was really into it. I saw the one where he dropped an F-bomb. Dude, I get it.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And I don't even get down with Star Wars.
And you liked it.
And I thought it was so cool. Just the set design, the theatrics of it, the amazing the ride is like 3 rides in one. That the best one is called Rise of the Resistance.
Okay.
That is the good ride. That's the ride that I had to wake up at 7 a.m. and pay extra to book tickets for.
Wow.
Because it sells out so quick. That's the one that if you want to get that Genie Plus Lightning Lane pass for,
Yes.
it sells out like right at 7 a.m.
How about that? Yeah, the thing that was really cute that I love with your son Rocco is he's like, is this really real? Because it is pretty amazing
You
looking.
feel like you are in the movie.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I know you had some plane issues on Saturday, as a lot of people did if you're flying over the 4th of July week and weekend. What happened? Was it the plain error, or was it Virginia error?
Well, it's a little bit of both. Because,
Okay.
you read that story last week that said, hey, if you're having a layover, make sure you give yourself 2 hours or more.
Yeah.
I did not give myself 2 hours of a layover, and our flight was late leaving Nashville, so I missed the connector in Atlanta.
I was so bummed out. I had bought you a bottle of champagne, and it was ready to go at my house. And then I saw the text message like, I guess the witch isn't coming.
Did you drink it?
I did not. It's still there.
Sweet.
With another 3 bottles of champagne that I bought for you that you've never drank. Run out of room.
I'll see you this weekend.
Yes.
Got a lot to handle. So that was Virginia's little break, and Jbird had some interesting things happen over the 4th of July break that we just took. Which one of these actually did not happen, though? Did Jbird have to kick somebody out of his house for being too drunk? Did he have a Kermit the Frog stuffed animal snatched out of his hand by a random lady while at an estate sale? Did he invite the delivery pizza guy into his house to play video games? Did he have a guy trash our show to his face? The guy was standing in front of his girlfriend, and she looked visibly uncomfortable. Or did he get wrongfully accused in front of a large group of strangers for double-dipping cheese fondue? Okay. Any of those things are plausible. Is there one that's standing out to you, Virginia?
I'm going cheese fondue.
Cheese fondue.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
first of all, I would never double dip.
But if you did, I mean, people need to just mind their business. If you're in your house double dipping, step off.
I wasn't in my house. No, this was at just so y'all know, this would be at a other place.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just take a shot here. I think any of them have equal chance of not being true, so I'm going to go with you kicking somebody out of your house for being too drunk.
Okay.
So that's my guess.
All right.
So which one of these things did not happen?
The one that did not happen was the witch is right. The fondue did not happen. Everything else happened.
Okay.
Yeah, the person that was too drunk, we were playing poker, and they got way too drunk, and I'm not that good of friends with this person. It was, as Virginia said, it was a scraggler.
A scraggler. A +1 brought a +1.
Yeah, exactly. Not really. They're part of another group that came to play poker. And they came in separate cars. So this person, they got really hammered, and everyone wanted just to play poker. That's all everyone wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And this person wanted to get turned, and they started kind of being a little mean to Denny's, and we ain't gonna have that. Not in my house. So I had to end up texting his girlfriend. She had to come and pick him up.
It was a dude.
Oh yeah, it was a dude, and I don't know him that greatly.
Yeah.
And I don't care if I ever do.
Banned for life.
Yeah, you're all right if...
Well, you're not going to Denny's.
No.
No.
Who would go into Denny's?
Well, what it was he was way drunk, and people were not caught up to his level, and he kept repeating himself, and the game wouldn't go on. And then he said a couple unsavory things. I'm like, all right, dude, you got to go. I'm texting his girlfriend during the time, like, please get your man. He is a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor look.
Gone.
Okay. All right, let's see. Other things that happened. You had a Kermit the Frog stuffed animal snatched out of your hand by a random lady in an estate sale.
If you are in the garage sale world, you know if there's good sales. Some people camp out early. I had an awesome Kermit the Frog right in my hand. So they bring out this box full of stuffed animals and toys as they're bringing out stuff. So I lean over and I go, oh, thanks, this is really cool. As I'm searching through, I have a Kermit in my hand, and this old woman walks up and grabs it and goes, oh, what is that? I don't want it. And then gives it back to me. Yeah, just grabbed it right out of my hand.
People, man.
People.
Garage sales are lawless.
It's not... I don't think Virginia's built for a garage sale.
I'm not.
No, I don't, man.
I would not do well.
They're all not violent, but a lot of them get a little drama going on.
A little spicy.
I'm too froggy for Home Goods. I don't need to be at a garage sale.
Home Goods can get crazy,
I know.
too.
They get froggy in there.
You had a delivery pizza guy come into your house to play video games?
Scotty is his name, and
Scotty,
he's a
okay.
huge KVJ Nationer and big
Okay.
fan of the show.
Yeah.
And when I opened the door, he's like, Jbird, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. I had some buddies over playing some video games, so we invited him in. He played around a home run derby with us.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
That's
it
cool.
was really
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, it was very fun.
Good times. And you had a guy trash our show to your face.
That happens
of his
all the
girlfriend?
time.
It was at Crazy Horse.
Are you
Yeah.
shocked?
No, I'm not shocked. But what sucked was the girl was so nice. It's a couple, and I'm thinking we're all getting along, and this is great. The guy seemed cool. He's not saying much, but I'm thinking, all right, blah, blah,
He's
blah.
quiet.
She's so super sweet, and then he starts to talk, and he just goes in so hard how our show sucks. He doesn't understand how it's on the air, but I mean, I forget exactly. I'm paraphrasing, but it was.
He had a lot to say.
Well, he did round one, and I go, no, I get it, man. And he
just kept going.
He went into round two, and I look over at his sweet girlfriend, and she is looking like, dude, you're acting like such a douche right now. She's turning red.
You would be surprised, people that don't know, how many times this happens, though. A couple will walk up to us, and either the wife or the husband, most times it's the wife, loves our show, and the husband hates it.
It was just weird. She was so nice, and he was so not nice.
They'll never last.
She didn't look happy. He's going to probably...
Well, if you hate something so vehemently
It's weird.
that your spouse loves, I mean, you just can't be quiet and let her have her moment. He's a douche.
Well, I had the best time at Crazy Horse. It was a love fest. Everyone was so cool, except for that guy.
He was the one guy who brought the whole thing down.
I mean, he kept going on and on to the point where I had to fake like somebody called me. I go, Denny's is... Bye, guys. Great talking to you.
Great talking
Help.
to you.
Help, please.
Yeah, we had to put up a comment thing on the KVJ Show Facebook page about what's a really good ice-breaking question if you're trying to get to know somebody, especially if like you're on a first date. And somebody said, do you listen to the KVJ Show? And I got to tell you, it does seem to be one of those, because it's such a polar thing. Either you love it or hate it. And if you're not on the same page, it'll tell you a lot about where somebody's sensibilities are set. If you don't get our show, you don't like it, you don't think we belong on the radio.
Like that guy.
Yeah, then you may not actually belong with somebody who thinks that we do.
Y'all are right. I have met people who really, I mean, they hate our show. But I also think they just hate certain types of shows anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They hate smiles and good times.
Yeah. This is not the first time this has happened where someone...
Oh, this happens a lot.
Someone's got to sit me down to tell me, you suck, and so does your show.
Here's all the reasons I hate you. Oh, all right, let's get into it.
It's a weird situation.
It is so bizarre, but it happens a lot.
Well, Crazy Horse, there's nowhere to run. You can't. So if you get cornered somewhere, you're like, I got to take this unwanted air check.
Another relationship question that we had on the KVJ Show Facebook page. Say you're on a first date with somebody and they tell you the name of their favorite band. You immediately leave. What would be the band or the artist?
That was a funny thought. I was reading some of the comments.
Yeah, we have a definite top 5. So you might want to know that if you like one of these bands, maybe don't say it if you just start dating somebody. I'll run down the top 5 for you coming up next here on the KVJ Show. Well, there are a lot of deal breakers that can happen in relationships, but can music actually drive you apart from somebody? There are these little things we were talking about that maybe you just realize right away and pretty quick that we just don't belong together. One of those ones, oddly enough, the polar approach to the KVJ Show. Either you love us or hate us. And if you're in a relationship with somebody who hates us, I don't know, maybe you just don't have the same kind of sensibilities. To me, it says a lot because you probably don't line up on sense of humor, which you find funny, how you approach life, because our approach to the show is how we approach life.
And keep in mind, the guy that was giving me the critique of how much he hated our show, he was so not done. He had so much more left in the tank, man. He was only in inning 1. He had another 8 innings to pitch.
I'm so curious about what he does find entertaining. Like, what does he like?
Not this.
This ain't it, huh?
Oh, Kevin, no.
This ain't it. Another thing that might be able to tell you a little something about your relationship is your taste in music. So say you're on a first date with somebody. Is there a band or artist that they could mention that you'd be like, okay, this clearly is not going to work? What would that artist or band be? Do you have one, Virginia, that stands out to you that would be like, oh my gosh, no way?
People who passionately love U2. I know there's a lot of you out there, but I just do not vibe U2. And they love U2. I just don't get it.
Okay. There were even some genres of music that people were throwing out.
Yeah, and I swear to you, that would never be a true deal breaker for me. But the one music that it would be such a disconnect from would be techno.
EDM.
If you are so in it, and that's
Right.
the world you want to be in. I hate that world so much.
She's a 10, but she likes techno.
Yeah, and again, to me, that's not a deal breaker unless she made it a deal breaker. But yeah, that would be rough.
I can see you at Ultra.
If I had to be, if I had to go back, I'm so bummed out if I'm there.
The genre of music that got the most hate was country. So a lot
Very
of people were
polarizing.
saying if I was with somebody that liked country, just couldn't do it. So they'd be out. And another one, too, a lot of people said anyone who says they don't like music at all.
That is worse than you like a genre I don't like. You don't like music. Let me guess, you don't like food either?
Yeah, I will tell you, with some genres, if you're exposed to a little bit more, oddly enough, it kind of grows on you. You may be like, after a while, okay, you know what? I'm kind of starting to like this for some reason.
Yeah, our 90s country, I love it. Now, yeehaw kind of country, not my cup of soda. But you're right, though. There is, if you listen to it enough, you can love it.
Right. You kind of get used to it. So some of the big bands or artists that people listed, in fact, there were pretty much 4 that came out a good bit. The Beatles got a lot of mentions, oddly enough.
I could see a lot of hate for the Beatles lately.
Yeah.
Online. People are really going after the
Well,
Beatles.
maybe it's because some people are so passionate about it and they sell it so hard
They
that
do.
you think your whole life is like the heavens are going to open up and you're going to hear angels when you hear the Beatles, and people just don't have that kind of experience.
They're very, very hype.
Okay. Kid Rock was in there in the top 3. Dave Matthews Band also got a lot of mentions. Is one of those bands or artists that if you're on a first date and they said, I'm a huge DMB fan, you'd be like, all right, I'm out.
And it's weird because we all like Dave Matthews, but we like him to a point where we don't like him, which is odd, if that makes sense.
Keep in mind, his first hit songs were coming out in the mid-90s, around 94, 95.
Oh, I was so into that Ants Marching.
Yeah, and I would say for a good 10 years, I was really into Dave Matthews. I would go to his shows when he come in town, and he really hasn't done anything since then, new music-wise.
When you first got into radio, have you ever had to talk about Dave Matthews with the Ants Marching?
Yeah,
You have?
I did.
Okay.
Because our station that I worked for, my first radio gig, it went from classic rock, it switched to alternative rock, and it played Dave Matthews.
And now Dave Matthews is considered classic rock. From some
Probably, yeah. I don't even know where it fits.
Full circle.
Maybe it's on classic rock.
You're right, though. It's not like rock, but
No, it's soft, yeah. And then the number one artist still that would be a deal breaker on a first date, Nickelback. Still.
that's great. I think that's more.
I wonder that too.
I think that's just the joke people say.
People just still say their music's too corny. So that was some of the comments that people had on the KVJ Show Facebook page. Well, they say that the lullaby is starting to fade away. If you grew up with them, they say that millennials and now even Gen Z know them a lot worse than our parents did when we were growing up.
I was always made to believe cowboys love lullabies. They play the guitar at nighttime or they're out in the prairie, kind of singing a sad cowboy tune.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they need to poll cowboys on this then. Because other than that, maybe it's a dying art form. The top lullaby that parents can actually recite the words to is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. But that's still only 55% of new millennial parents can do that. Do you think you can recite Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, Jbird?
I got the first Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, how I wonder where you are or how you are. Where? How? Is the star like human-like? Is it are they humanizing it?
How are you, Star?
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder
What?
what you are.
Yes.
Up above the star so high, like a cloud. The meatball in the sky.
Cloudy meatball?
Dude, I got nothing.
Cloudy with a chance of meatballs?
I haven't heard that banger in a while.
I know, yeah. Do you know that one, Virginia?
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are, up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, How I Wonder What You Are.
Virginia passed the test.
Oh, but that makes sense because she's old.
And I have kids. My mom used to get down with a lullaby. Big Linda loves to sing. You know, she's got a song in her heart. And she would always be singing something to us.
I love hearing your mom sing.
She loves to sing.
It eased me.
Call her. She'll sing for you.
Baba Black Sheep is number 2, 53%. Know that one?
I don't even think I know how that's Baba Black Sheep.
Have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Better get to school.
That's not right.
I do not know that song.
I didn't know this one either. It goes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. 1 for the master, 1 for the dame, and 1 for the little boy who lives down the lane. What? Baba Black Sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full.
It sounds like the ramblings of a madman.
Yeah, these guys are kind of crazy. 51% know row, row, row your boat. Who doesn't know that one?
That one, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Life is but a. Wait, hold on. Row,
No, your boat.
Hold on. I didn't.
This is the one you were going to ace?
Oh, he was so confident.
I know
That's
he
it.
was.
Row,
He charged right into it.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is about a dream?
Oh, you're so good.
But a dream.
But a dream.
51%.
How are you, Star?
51% know Humpty Dumpty. You know that one?
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horsemen, all the king's men couldn't put Humpty back together again.
Got that one. And in 43% only know Jack and Jill. You got that one, Bird?
Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down, broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after.
There you go.
Whoa.
Yeah. What I didn't realize, there's a whole second verse that goes to that.
Oh, Jack and Jill, I believe, gets kind of twisted.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's about a crown, and I don't know, there's something else she did. But, yeah. So they say that it's kind of going by the wayside, though. Lullabies not as popular as they used to be. Is today's youth going to be missing out on anything by not getting lullabies, or is it, not a big deal? I would have much rather had contemporary music, I think, than a lullaby.
Lullabies are weird. Like Baba Black Sheep. I mean, it's just not, it's not with the times.
They've got an eerie tone to them.
It does. It feels like an era of murder, doesn't it?
It does. It's a murderous greatest hits.
Wait, is Mommy going to kill me? I don't like this.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away. Cause you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, Shane Hawkins, the teenage son of Taylor Hawkins that passed away from the band Foo Fighters 4 months ago now. Shane is a teenager who I guess also plays in a band, and he performed over the 4th of July weekend with the band, and he did the drums, and he dedicated the Foo Fighters song My Hero to his dad.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine if you were there?
No, but I got to tell you,
I would be bawling.
I really think they're doing it right, though. The Foo Fighters are doing tribute shows, and it's all about Taylor Hawkins. And this is, I think, what everybody would want to see. And you've got to extinguish you got to get every last little drop out of this that you possibly can. And I think this is a great move. It'll endear people, and it'll make sense. And people be like, it's too soon, man. I mean, they got to continue on. They love performing music, and their fans want to see them, but they have to do it the right way. And I think they're doing it exactly right.
Yeah, I think it's in their heart and soul. I don't think this is a forced kind of a hired gung thing. I think they want to do this thing.
Sure, and he was their brother.
Yes.
And they want to pay tribute to him, and I just love the fact that his son is carrying on that musical legacy.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty, that's a deep...
I would have been bawling. Oh, in other news, it looks like Cardi B struggled with a crowd member on stage at her Wireless Festival. Now, at one point, she's performing Bodak Yellow and jumps in the crowd, and she's like singing, whatever, and somebody in the crowd tries to snatch her microphone away, but Cardi B is not having it. They try to snatch the microphone. She pulls her wrist back and pulls the microphone back, and then bink, clocks him in the head with the microphone.
Oh, wow.
You can hear an audible thud as she cracked the fan in the head with the mic for trying to take it from her.
Yeah, I think some of these fans are getting a little too loose with jumping up on stage. I mean, we've seen it happen a good bit here.
Yep.
You remember what happened with Dave Chappelle when he's at the Hollywood Bowl with that artist that got up there? And I saw, too, over the weekend, there was a viral video going around. I think it was Lil Baby was up on stage.
Yes, I saw that on TMZ.
Did you see that?
Lil Baby got into a little ruckus, too.
Well, Lil Baby was just up performing, and there was somebody that got on stage. I guess they thought, oh, Lil Baby's going to love them. I'm going to come up here and say hi to him. And
Lil Baby's bodyguard wasn't having it.
yeah, watch this video. You can see Lil Baby up there performing, and the security guard comes up. I mean, this guy should be in the NFL. He sends this fan all the way into the front gate that is the barrier between the crowd and the stage. I mean, this dude just chucked this fan. So don't get on stage, y'all.
I mean, that is how you ruin your ankle right there.
Don't step to Lil Baby.
No.
There's a chance he could have really got hurt.
No, seriously.
Oh
I mean,
my
because he did a
gosh.
header into that metal gate that is the barrier. I never heard how the guy was, but, man, he took a shot.
He looks like he's walking, but he's not. He's in the air.
Yeah, you're right. He clocked him.
And I know a lot of people here love The Sopranos. I don't know if you guys saw the sad news over the break. Paulie Walnuts passed away at the age of 79.
He was such a good character in that series.
So
He
good.
was so good.
I liked him better than all the other gangsters.
He
I
was
liked him
good.
the most. He was so funny. So yeah.
I guess he was really into mafia back in the day.
Really?
Yes, and if you look into his back into his past, he did something, and he kind of gave credibility to the role.
Yeah, he did. And that's what's going on in your dirt.
You know, what was kind of surprising is just how many of the Sopranos cast is no longer with us.
It's odd.
Yeah. I mean, you got, obviously, Tony Soprano is passed. He's gone. And now Paulie Walnuts is gone.
Junior. Isn't Junior gone?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, Junior was pretty old when they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
So
safe
there
bet.
you
I'm not 110% sure.
I think you're right, yeah.
I thought he was.
go. Okay. All right, got a few celebrity birthdays here today. Big old happy birthday. Name that you haven't heard for a little while, but she was real big in 2018. See if she cranks out some more music. She got the Best New Artist at the 2018 Grammys, and I don't know if I've really heard much from her since. Alessia Cara is 26. That's kind of been the curse of death for some artists. You notice that? They get the Best New Artist at the Grammys, and then that is really it. They only have that one debut album.
It was for her.
Yeah.
Well, if she came out in 2018, that whole tour and that album's wrapping up right around 2020, right into Corona.
Right, it was a tough time. Yeah, and it's only been 4 years since that. And she's still only 26, so there's still hope.
Oh my gosh, 26 in the pop world.
You're right. That's getting up there. Lil' Kim is 47 or 48. For some reason, there's confusion on her age. I don't know why, but I'm not really sure. And Giorgio Armani is turning 88 years old today. Also, we got happy birthday to Metal Beer Dan.
Oh, that's nice.
Happy
KJ
birthday.
and Maria F.
We love that cat.
Also, Christian, happy 7th birthday from Mom, Dad, Sophia, Daniel, and Chase. He turned 7 on Friday. And Victor Perez in the chat room.
We love that cat. He's a nice dude, too.
Yeah, from Lily and the YouTube chat. If you want to jump in there, you can go to YouTube, look for the KVJ Show, or go to kvjshow.tv.
By the way, the chat room represented awesome on Saturday at Crazy Horse. There was a lot of people from the chat room there, which was very cool.
In
Nice.
fact, a big thank you to everybody that came out. We had a really good time at Crazy Horse up there on North Lake Boulevard, just west I-95 in Palm Beach Gardens. Had a really solid crowd, had an awesome time. Had a lot of drinks with a lot of people.
I had so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. It really was. And Crazy Horse always doing it so right. They're just always so hospitable and so great to all the KVJ
They
Nation.
are.
They're very nice
They're
people.
super fun. They know how to throw
Yeah.
a great party.
Yeah, it was a really good time, and they do really good drinks as well. The Mexican Queen and I went up there for a little brunch. We went up there and tried out the Bloody Marys. They're absolutely fantastic. They have really good Bloody Marys. The chicken wings are great. Their Wahoo dip is so good. And I was talking to somebody at the bar, and they were talking about how they just go and they get that Wahoo Fresh on the Treasure Coast like every day. So it's amazing Wahoo dip. So they got really good food, and it's just a really fun place to go hang out. So thanks again to them for a great time on Saturday. Well, we're kind of making our way through summertime. But there's still enough left. You got about a good month to a month and a half before you can finally sock your kids back into school, not worry about it. So that's why Camp KVJ is something you are definitely going to need until that point. 4-pack of tickets to Rapids Water Park and also the Cox Science Center we got for you right now. Jennifer is on here from Lake Worth Beach. Hello, Jennifer.
Hey, good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, KVJ.
Good. I guess you got a couple of school-age kids you'd love to give the hookup to?
Yeah, I got 2 daughters. They're 8 and 10.
Okay, very cool. What have they been doing with their summer so far?
They have school camp, so they do field trip and stuff.
Oh, okay. That's kind of fun. Good for you. Do they like Rapids Water Park? They ever been?
Yes.
Okay, very cool. All right, we're going to give you a hookup for that. And then the Cox Science Center, always adding and growing and doing big things. So we'll give you a 4-pack of tickets to both. Okay, Jennifer?
Awesome. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Okay, another chance to win. Same time here tomorrow on the KVJ Show. Well, you guys have had a good long break. I haven't been here since before 4th of July, so we're going to see just how much rust you got here on the breaks.
Oh, crud balls.
Time for another round of Think Fast.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Okay, we got Virginia, we got Jbird, and we got Denny's all jumping in on this. Got different topics here for you. Whoever can come up with a sensible answer the fastest is going to get the point. All right, first up, Think Fast. It's a beer brand that starts with the letter N.
Natty.
Oh, yeah. Little Natty Light.
He's quick.
Oh, yeah. Denny's is ready to go. Okay, next up, Think Fast. It's a type of shot that starts with the letter F.
Fireball.
Oh, no.
I was thinking injection shots.
Virginia, yeah.
You can inject it.
You're
Right
really
in your main
hardcore.
vein.
If you are doing that, we got to sit down and have a talk.
Okay, how about this? It is a nightclub starting with the letter L.
Live.
Bird's
Bird's favorite nightclub.
Yeah.
Sobe.
Bird Clubber. Okay. All right, everybody's tied at 1 apiece now. Okay, next up, it is an alcoholic beverage brand that starts with the letter J.
Gentleman Jim's? No. Yeah. No.
Jim Beam.
Oh.
Jim Beam.
Where my birdies at?
I got G'd.
Yeah. It's tough.
Hey,
man.
you're trying to think quick.
You're going against the clock.
Should say Jameson.
Oh, you love Jameson.
We both love Jameson. Jeez, we
named
drank a
two of
lot of
those.
Jameson over the weekend.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, how about this one? Something that changes your life starting with the letter P.
Parents.
Oh. Yeah, dump me. I
We're
don't
not
know.
accepting P-O-O-N. Is that what you said?
I think I did. I'm sorry, Kevin. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I want the win, but I also don't want to get us canceled. Sorry.
It does change some people's lives.
Yeah.
Look, it's the right answer, but I don't think I can say that.
Yeah. We'll try it again. Something that changes your life starting with the letter P.
Parents.
Power.
People don't change people.
That was all sloppy. We'll skip that.
Oh, he's not taking any of that.
Yeah, that's tough.
Tossing that one out.
Yeah. Pregnancy could have been one.
Oh, yes.
Okay, something you grill that starts with the letter B.
Bacon.
Okay.
It's hard to keep it from falling in the slats.
It's a tough one to grill.
It's tough to grill bacon.
Tinfoil.
It's a little messy.
A little bit.
Bratwurst also
Oh,
works.
brats.
Okay, a water activity that starts with the letter K.
Kite surfing.
Ooh.
I mean, it is.
It is.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Bird's going to get the win.
Wow. That was a fancy one.
Yeah, geez.
Just like that.
I know about Sobe and water sports.
How about that, huh?
You never go out and you're afraid of the ocean.
Well, this is an interesting case that is getting a good bit of traction here today. There is a pregnant lady in Texas that got a $275 ticket last month. But Texas law defines an individual as a human being who is alive, including an unborn child. What had happened was she was riding in the carpool lane pregnant. She got pulled over and she's like, no, I got two in here. It's me and my unborn child. And they're like, okay, wait a minute. That's probably over my pay grade. Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah. So they didn't know what to do. They're like going, I'm going to do my job and I'll let the court sort this out. She wound up getting the $275 ticket. Her court date is July 20th, which oddly enough is her due date. So she was very pregnant. You could see she was pregnant. It wasn't like, okay, I'm, 2 weeks pregnant. You could tell that this woman was pregnant. And so she sounds like she's going to be fighting this.
He starts peeking around. He's like, is it just you? I said, no, there's two of us. And he's like, well, where's the other person? And I went, right here. And I said, not trying to throw a political mix here, but with everything going on, this counts as a baby. And he kind of just waved me off. I really don't feel like it's right because one law is saying it one way, but then another law is saying it another way.
Yeah, it could be an interesting little case because I got to agree with her. To me, you're right. You can't have it both ways. It's either got to be, all right, this is a kid and I get to ride in the carpool lane, or it's not. And then I get the other rights that have been so big in the news. So
I don't see it turning political.
Oh, it's already political. It's going to be a big deal. But I'm like, what an interesting question. And then imagine that. If you could go around in the carpool lane, I mean, imagine any kind of, person could just say, I'm pregnant. That would always be your out, right? Of riding the carpool lane. Because I got to tell you, I've gotten nabbed for that before. That's one of the most frustrating tickets ever. Because you're just like,
yes, it is.
I just wasn't even thinking. It's like, you're right. And I remember I got pulled over at 4:03.
Me too. That happened to me. It was right after 4 o'clock. And I'm like, come on,
yeah,
man.
It was 4:03 and it's traffic and I'm just driving and I just didn't even think about it. And they do really patrol it hard. I had it probably just a couple months ago where my son was kicking back in the back seat. I got pulled over, and he came up, and my son stood up, being like, oh, what's going on? You got pulled over, Dad? And he's like, oh, never mind. He's like, I was getting you for a violation of the carpool lane.
When we were commuting down, when we were working in Miami, within, I think, a 2-week period, I had gotten pulled over twice for having nobody in that. And to your point, we would leave Miami so late at times. Be like 4:15, I'm reeling mentally, thinking, we're going to definitely get fired. Yeah. I'm in the left-hand lane, not even thinking.
Yeah.
Again.
But I mean, this whole thing could really destroy policing the carpool lane because this woman was clearly showing. You could tell, and they had a photo of her sitting there right after she got her ticket, and she got the big old pregnancy belly, and there's not a lot of doubt with that. I mean, unless she had on a fake pregnancy belly. But, what about the people that aren't yet showing who are going to use out the pregnancy excuse? I mean, honestly, I don't know how you would ever, again, if this really does go to court and it wins, and like she said, I think it's going to be one way or the other. You got to figure it out. That would just always be your excuse if you get pulled over in the carpool lane, right? How do you even police that at that point?
Yeah, any chick can do it because I can totally stick my stomach out and make it look like I'm pregnant.
I can do it too, and I'm going to be showing more than you.
That's a food baby.
And
count?
I'm about my 8th month.
That's a pie.
Yeah. So I thought it was really kind of fascinating because they may really honestly have to rethink the carpool lane and say, wow, would that just get rid of the carpool lane to say, man, they found the out on that?
Huh.
Is the carpool lane stupid anyway? Should it just be gone anyway? Or is there really a good that comes with it?
Well, I'm wondering, honestly, how effective it is. And the one thing that I'm noticing, especially here in South Florida, they seem to have said, you know what, let's do the express lane where you got to pay, get rid of the carpool lane anyway, and let's charge people. We don't care if you're pregnant or whatever. And then that way you don't have this sticky thing of trying to, are you pregnant or you're not pregnant? Are you so you'd have that big fight every single time. And I don't even know how you would police it. So to me, I think you start getting rid of carpool. I think this is the death of the carpool lane, honestly.
And where does that on when police officers pull you over, if a woman says she's pregnant and she's trying to say, I don't want the ticket, where does that rank on? Is that the equivalent of, oh, officer, I got the worst poopy cramps, that's why I was speeding? Is that an automatic?
Well, this is about the only thing where I think if you're trying to say the pregnancy, unless you try to say you're giving birth, and at that point, they're going to follow you to the hospital. And if you were lying about it, then you're going to get probably a massive ticket for, lying about, oh, I'm going into labor. So to me, this is really the only one where you use pregnancy as an excuse to get out of a ticket. She did $275, but when it goes to court, it's going to turn into a big old fight and probably going to be the end of the carpool lane, is my thought.
Let me see what social media is saying about.
Yeah, it's a big topic out there today.
I'm logging off.
Yeah. All right, who do you need to call out here today and for what? Anybody exhibited any kind of bad behavior or just something you kind of want to bitch about, hoping maybe it'll change? You can let us know. Call or text 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. Steve, he sent us an email, and he wants to call out every restaurant that saves the closest spots for valet and makes you walk for a distance in possibly a dark or dangerous area. So you have to park your car on your own. And I will tell you, the one that he sent is kind of crazy because it is a restaurant, and they got valet parking, and there is one car that is valeted, and there is about 40 open spots. They've almost taken every single spot in the entire parking lot just for valet. So they've kind of pushed you in that way. You can't really even park your own car, even if you want to look at it. The entire parking lot is valet.
They want you to valet.
And there's nobody there. And he's like, I can easily park 2 spots away from the restaurant and do it myself and not have to pay you an extra little piece of money. I think it's kind of those things that are frustrating. I remember it's kind of like the bathroom attendant that you would have that would just turn the sink on for you, and they stand there like wanting $1 or $5 or whatever. You're like, honestly, man, I would really just...
I can handle this. I've been washing my hands for a minute now. I think I got it.
And it's always comfortable relieving yourself as someone's watching you.
They do, and they're waiting. They're too
Because
attentive.
you guys don't have stalls. You just have like open urinals. So he's like there basically watching you pee-pee.
I suffer from SF, stage fright. It's tough sometimes if someone's watching me pee.
And now you have to go in the stall and everybody thinks you just pooped.
I don't like that either. Yeah, you're right. It's outdated.
You're set up to fail.
Mm-hmm. Couple of other call-em outs that we got here that people have texted in. This one said, I'd like to call out my boss for blasting me during a phone call with the other partner. Guess what a-hole it was on the speakerphone, and I was standing at your door.
Ooh.
Okay, you know who you are.
So they were talking trash in the speakerphone?
Yeah, I think they were talking trash on the speakerphone to the other partner as the person they were talking trash about was actually standing in the doorway listening.
Oh, that's good. Sometimes every now and then when Denny's will get a really, really bad phone call, I'll make them put it on speaker just to hear what they're saying. And I swear, Jbird in Virginia should be fired.
Tell your dad to stop calling.
Oh, my dad's he's a Missions V fan.
Oh, I'm a big, Juicy Daddy fan.
Probably shouldn't have said that he likes you.
This text said, 2 weeks ago, my husband of 12 years moved out and asked for a divorce. We've got 2 kids. Because of this, he said he can't help pay for their camp. But after I catch COVID, he somehow still has the money to take the kids on our pre-planned family vacation to France. They will be there making memories, and I'm going to be here quarantined. I am so crushed.
France doesn't seem like a cheap trip either.
No.
France, it feels like minimum $3,000.
At least,
At
right?
least.
Right.
That's if you do France on a budget.
And he's saying he doesn't have money for the camp.
But you got money for France.
You have money for France. You're going to take them to make the memories while she has to stay here with the COVID. Somebody said, I want to call out the loud talking receptionist at my doctor's office for being a HIPAA violation.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple people over the weekend, and they had the same complaint I had. Sometimes when you go to the doctor's office, some of these offices have thin walls, and one of my old doctors, I would hear the doctor and nurses talking to the patient about their conditions. And I'm going, if I can hear them, they definitely
can hear you.
Me. Oh, Whispers Pennington? I can't keep it down. Yeah, I agree. I think isn't that a HIPAA violation?
Yeah, they need to get thicker walls. That's a HIPAA violation.
Yeah.
No one wants their medical stuff talked about in front of other people.
It says here in the text, she asked so loudly about my steroid prescription for my hemorrhoids that all the waiting room with 20 plus people heard and half were snickering.
Oh, damn.
Stop saying it, man. That ain't cool.
What right to privacy?
She is cold.
Yeah, and I think sometimes people don't realize they're doing it. They're just
Yeah.
talking so loud. They're not doing it on purpose. But with that said,
If you're talking about somebody's butt problems, you got to keep that on the hush.
it's a whisper conversation.
It's so uncool.
Hey, so Virginia, you have hemorrhoids.
Yes, they're really inflamed.
It's not Virginia. You have hemorrhoids.
Another person with a column out here said, I'm calling out my mail carrier for getting chocolate all over my mail.
Aww.
When I called the post office to complain, I was asked to smell the brown stain to confirm it was in fact chocolate. And what if it wasn't?
Oh,
Makes me think this might happen more often than you'd think.
if I was a mailman, I'd always be getting down on chocolate. I can see how that can happen.
It's hot in that mail truck, too. It is going to melt.
You're gonna melt your mail.
Okay. This one says, my barber excused himself halfway through my haircut to argue with his wife on the phone. When he returned, he was so flustered and unfocused that he hacked my hair to pieces. Says, I'm on day 5 of wearing a hat. Don't barber angry.
I remember that one dude when we were living in Miami area. I went to the barber shop. This guy was drunk. He was drinking from a liquor bottle. Oh my god.
This person said, I want to call out people who are smoking weed but shouldn't. I smoke myself, and I know the stealth methods that you can use now to sneak a rip. But last week I saw a lifeguard and the guy who was mowing my lawn on a riding mower sneaking off a few rips. Smoke responsibly.
I saw a lot of people smoking weed on Saturday, and they weren't hiding it.
At the Crazy Horse.
There was one point, Kevin, where I was coming out of the bathroom, and she's super awesome and super nice. She goes, "Hey, I want to talk to you," and she hands me something, and it's a joint. And immediately, there's like 7 or 8 KVJ Nationers that want to take a picture. So now I'm in Crazy Horse with this random joint in my hand, taking pictures with people. I'm thinking, I hope there's no cops here.
Somebody else said, yeah, I'm calling out my boss for placing an ad on Indeed to replace me without giving me notice.
Oh.
It is a small company, 3 employees. I'm the only one with my job title and the only one needed. The building we work in isn't even big enough for a 4th person, so yeah, he's replacing me. He hasn't told me, but his job posting said he's looking to have somebody new within 2 weeks. So he could have given me a 2-week notice, but he'll probably just fire me outright and have me leave immediately.
Dang.
That'd be like Kevin going on social media. We're looking for a new entertainment reporter
Like, "Murr."
for the KVJ show.
Do you have an initial V in your name?
Yes, you can't replace me unless they have a V
Yes, that's
that
it.
starts their name.
Got too
You
much
keep-
art. It's on Vans.
It's the
everywhere.
logo. It's
It's
a
on a tent.
T-shirt.
We're too into it. If I ever get fired, you got to find a Jeremy or a Jonah. Or Josh, Denny's.
Oh, we'll slide Josh right in
in.
there.
Oh, yeah, I'm done.
And it says all this because I called him out on unethical medical practices.
Oh, boy.
I was even nice about it and just expressed my concerns, but he's been short with me ever since. And now this, he's replacing me on Indeed. Yeah, I often wonder that if you are looking for somebody's job to replace somebody and you post it on one of those sites, yeah, how often does that happen where the person you're trying to replace actually winds up seeing the ad you've posted for their job? And then what happens at that point? So obviously one person found it.
Don't expect good work out of them for the next couple of weeks.
Sometimes I think people don't realize they're tipping their hand. Didn't that happen to you, Kev, where you found out through somebody behind the scenes that one of the bosses wanted to fire you when you first got to our old station?
Yeah.
But he didn't know you knew about it.
Yeah, he didn't know. He was calling other radio hosts around the country, and he's saying, "Hey, I'm going to be replacing my morning show. Would you be interested in coming to West Palm?" And he called one of my good friends and he called me up. And he's like,
just so you know,
hey,
your boss wants to get rid of you.
Yeah, and then I went to the overall head boss and I was like, okay, I have a problem with being, actively replaced. So can you guys just let me know if I need to find another thing? And then he brought the other guy in and it was such an uncomfortable meeting because he was like, are you trying to find a replacement for him?
And you were in the meeting too?
I was in the meeting. We were both standing there in front
Awkward.
of the boss.
Were you in this meeting?
And he said, no,
I wasn't there, but he told me about it afterwards and I cried.
Yeah. And that's when, and then he doubled down. He said, I refuse to work with Kevin. He said, he's not the right guy for the show. He's a disaster. And either he goes or I go.
How long were you on the air there? And how long was he your PD for?
Probably 18 months.
Okay, so you guys
That
had about
point.
a year and a half, roughly.
Yeah, about a year and a half.
He said, it's him or me. And they said, all right, bye, boss.
Yeah, and they turned,
Kept Kevin.
They turned to the other guy like, all right, you're out.
The Kevin Ralston.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They kept the show, and there you go.
Oof, thank goodness.
Yeah, there you go.
Where's that douche today?
Not in radio, amazingly
Shocking.
enough. He never got back in.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, that ended his radio career right then and there. All right, anybody else you need to call out? 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. We got to call them out from somebody who found their job posted on Indeed because apparently they called their boss out on something ethical. So the boss is like, well, I don't want people with ethics around here.
That is messy. You know what? You don't want to work for that guy anyway. If he's in the medical field doing unethical medical stuff,
Right.
this could be the shove that you need to go work for somebody else that you can actually feel good about.
If you do see that, though, it's a good suggestion. Somebody said you need to apply for your own job and then see if your boss says anything.
Apply for your own job is amazing.
Denny's, I guess, kind of has to call him out here. It's about his wife, Jen. And we talked about this before, where what kind of say do you have over your partner when they want to change their appearance? And it could be anything from tattoos to plastic surgery to haircuts even, to what they wear. And what do you do? I think you can say, hey, if they ask your opinion, you can give it, and maybe you can make a suggestion. But at that point, I think when you're with somebody, they have their own right to choose how they look and what they want to do.
But if they do something that you don't find attractive, don't you want to be attracted to your partner?
Sure. So I think if they're about to do something, you would say, hey, look, I don't think that would be attractive. I think it's fair for you to say, I'm not sure I would love you with that face tattoo. I just don't think it would be something I would enjoy. But you do you. I just want to say my own little piece. Go ahead and do what you're going to do.
Yeah, Kevin, you may not look great with a Prince Albert.
Yeah. So Denny's has got his own little situation going on here with his wife, and I'm not sure that he's liking her thoughts on what she's going to do with her hair. What is her move?
Well, so she used to have this hairstyle, and it's a cool hairstyle, don't get me wrong, but during the pandemic, she's let her hair grow out, and I've gotten quite used to seeing it growing out, but she wants to cut it short again and then shave side of her head again, where she has the side shave.
She's an artist. She's an
artsy.
Artist.
It's a cool look.
Yeah.
But having been so far removed from it now, I've gotten quite fond of the long hair.
Yeah.
So when she brought it up to me, because she was like, she said it very nonchalantly, hey, I'm going to run out. I'm thinking about maybe this week getting my hair cut short on the side like I used to have it with the buzz. And I go, oh, we're going to go back to that.
How high is the shaved? Does it go up? Like half the head?
A good
shaved.
percentage. Yeah, I'd say.
She goes
okay.
for it.
Yeah, so if the center of your head was 100%, she probably goes at least like 65% up
Wow.
there. It pretty much turns into a coiffed part.
It looks good, but I mean, the long hair looks great
cool.
too.
Yeah, it's just I've gotten used to the long hair, and
And you
know,
like it.
and I like it. So she brought it up, and she goes, what are your thoughts on that? And I'm like,
Okay.
clearly do what you want, but
You made a face.
the way that it's been, I have been liking it long.
What was her response to your reaction?
I mean, it's kind of, she just wanted to see what my opinion was on it. I could tell she still wants to do it.
Well, she brought it up to me randomly, which isn't really like her. We're all chilling after the Crazy Horse. She goes, guess who doesn't want me to shave my head? I'm like, what's going on? Denny's. I'm like, oh, I got to write this down. This sounds like
Marriage drama.
Yes.
This is the worst drama they have.
And what sucks is we were just about to get into the conversation and something happened and we never had that conversation.
So
Wow.
yeah, she dropped it on the table, and so I go, yeah. I mean, that's just where I sit with it. I would prefer that it stays long, but I mean, if you absolutely have to get it short, then cut it short. I mean, I'm not here to be a miser.
How does that all work with marriage? You know, y'all are bound by law, and then one of your mates says, I'm going to do that, and in your heart to go, I'm not attracted to that, but I also don't want to tell someone how to live their life.
Oh, you mean like, say, someone gets a neck tat?
Oh, crap.
I was thinking about that.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Panda.
That's it. When you're that's the thing about the beauty and the curse of it is that when you are married, decisions that you make do impact both of you. And there are things that you may love something about your partner and they do something to completely alter it. And now all of a sudden you just hate the way it looks and you can't get used to it. And unfortunately, that's kind of part of the, marriage deal. It's you try to love them for them and let them be who they are and who they feel like they need to be. And yeah, Denny's is in one of those situations that often happens. And probably anybody who's in a serious relationship can say something that their partner has done to their appearance at one time or another that they've hated. Now, the one thing that you do hope is that maybe it's temporary. Her shaving the side of her head, that could grow back out again in time. So you're all good there. The tattoos are a little bit more permanent, or some kind of plastic surgery. That's going to be a lot more permanent as well.
I think plastic surgery completely changes your look in some cases.
It does, and sometimes it makes things really odd. And that I've seen people who've done it and they come out the other side unrecognizable. To me, that would be the toughest way to go. Of all the alterations that somebody can do, you got the tattoo thing, but yeah, imagine that all of a sudden the person you married you don't really even recognize anymore.
They have young, old face, but it's kind of, I don't know. You're right. Some of that surgery can change the lips, the eye area.
And some people go in with the best of intentions.
Yeah, sure.
And they want to look prettier or younger or really want to improve their appearance, but something goes wrong and now they're disfigured and their face looks weird. And you're like, oh my gosh, I got to look at weird for the rest of my life.
That would be awful.
That's awful.
Well, where would you be if all of a sudden the queen came at you and said, you know what, Kevin, I wanted to see you without hair club. I want you all natural, baby. And she wanted you to not do the hair club.
She has, yeah.
She has.
Oh, yeah. She was trying to convince me, a long time ago. I think since I've had it, she's all in. She's like hair club all the way. But yeah, she'd said this. She'd just shave your head, you'd be fine. And I was like, no, I'm not I don't want to go there yet. And I was close, and one day maybe I will, but not today.
But you put your foot down on that one.
I did, because again, that's me though. You got control on that. Your spouse can't tell you how to look, and that's where I would draw the line. Like Denny's can't go to Jen and be like, you're not going to shave your head like that. You can't do that.
No.
You can say how you feel, but in the end, it really is their decision.
So the question is, how do you persuade them? What do you do?
You talk about it on the radio.
I bring it to you guys.
And none there's any jerks, but who's the jerk in that situation? The person that goes, yeah, you don't like it, but I'm still going to cut it anyway that way, or the person that goes, I don't want you to cut it that way. Who's the one that's not being cool?
I don't know that anybody's not necessarily being uncool. I just think you don't agree on something. And I don't know that any person's right. I don't think you're wrong for saying, I like you better this way, looking this way. I think you have the right to be able to say that. But then I think you also have the right to be able to do what you want to do with your own physical appearance. And look, I think you're both right. It's just you don't always link up. And so it's a game of persuasion. You're trying to convince them that, hey, you look better this way. And I don't know if it's like you take all these photos of Jen where she has longer hair and you put them up all over the place.
Just subliminally lay them around.
Subliminally.
Look how pretty you look.
Oh, look at this one. We haven't looked at this in a while.
Yeah. You look so beautiful there. Oh, it's amazing. I love that hair. That hair is great.
Well, then you got to decide what you pick and choose to press or not press. Because what if, 5 years from now, I decide to do something crazy, like shave the side of my head and grow one side long? Who knows? Who knows what crazy change I'll make in the future that she won't like?
You get another Jbird tattoo on your ass.
There you go. I get 3 more.
Yeah.
It could be 100 things.
Those are one of the toughest. In fact, I would say a tattoo is probably the toughest just because it's the most permanent. The other ones are those really, the gauges that you put in your ears. Imagine if you're with somebody and they're like, that's how I want to go, or they put something through their nose or something like that. Now that you can take out, but those gauges, I think you're that way forever, right?
Yeah, doesn't it like stretch out your ear? I bet you would have to have surgery to put it back.
I would think so.
What would you be more bothered by? Panda getting those gauges in his ear or another neck tat?
I don't like either one.
I hope he gets
Oh.
gauges.
I guess I'm gonna go gauges because
That's how much you hate
at
the
least
neck.
now I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, Panda.
Still holding on to it.
Oh yeah,
3 years later, I still bring it up.
I think it looks great.
yeah. She's still there. So
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
okay. So you've got. Do you know how long before? Is it just something she's contemplating? She doesn't have any kind of.
I think she's contemplating it. She'll probably do it before the end of summer, I'd imagine.
Okay.
So we'll find. I'll keep everyone posted.
If she does do it, is there a quiet rage within Denny's?
No, it's fine. It's just out of the two, I do like it longer. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to ruin anything, but at the end of the day,
So persuasive Denny's has got to come out, and the clock is ticking.
yeah. I mean, I can persuade, but again, is this something worth pressing?
You need
That's
to be
the question.
complimenting her hair every day. Don't bring up the shaving part. Just tell her how pretty she looks and how great her hair is looking.
Well, and you're not trying to be labeled as a dude saying you can't wear that, you can't do this, you can't.
Oh, and I'm all for expressing yourself, But,
But you like
as you
what you
join
like.
as a unit, yeah, these decisions do get split.
You just like what you like, don't you?
You like what you like.
There's no changing it.
Okay. Any suggestions for poor old Denny's here? 877-979-WRMF.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, cause you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, it looks like Vince McMahon, your boy from WWE, had to pay out a lot more than they initially made it sound like. Now, they came out and said, oh, yes, we had to make some payments because he acted inappropriately, and he's going to step down. Vince is going to step down, and his daughter is going to be the interim CEO while we investigate ourselves, which I always think is so funny.
I told y'all there's going to be some more stuff that comes with this.
Yep.
I just think internal investigations are hilarious. Like, Jbird, you've done something bad. Denny's is going to investigate you.
Okay, I like where this is going. All right, Denny's, be fair, bro.
You won't even be slapped on the wrist
Well, the
if
good-
Denny's is investigating Jbird crimes.
The good thing is wrestling's not known for really having each other's back that much. The good old boys club.
Oh, yeah. They're saying now because the Wall Street Journal started sniffing around and they're like, wait a minute, there's probably more to this than the WWE is saying.
Well, what happens is people start asking about other stories about Vince McMahon and look
Yeah.
up the Jimmy Fly Snuka story and all that stuff about how some people think Vince helped get this wrestler out of murdering or covering up a murder. This wrestler,
Murder?
his girlfriend at the time.
Oh, no. That's
Yeah,
juicy.
It's really juicy, and then
Snuka killed his
it
girlfriend?
looked like he was going down, and then Vince McMahon, according to the documentary, went into a meeting with the police, and
Wow.
then Jimmy Fly Snuka was okay.
Dang.
Yeah, it'll be interesting seeing our new era just how much comes out. Now, it started with just like, one woman here and, not a big deal. And now we're up to, 4? And you're looking at $12 million he's paid out over the last 16 years. So this isn't anything new.
But what he did was he gave all these chicks NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. That if they got the payout, they had to sign the paper. So they're not supposed to be discussing their relationships with him.
I listen to a lot of these wrestling podcasts, and a lot of these podcasts, some of these wrestlers go in there who have not been wrestling for a long time. They get paid to do these, Virginia, and sometimes it'll be in this wrestler's, he's a big fan, but he's doing the podcast at his house, and they're paying these former old school wrestlers, and they're drinking on the podcast, and they are letting a lot of information out.
That's when you get the best
Dude,
stuff.
no, there's a lot of stuff. If you really mind the podcast, there's stuff where you go, I don't know if people are going to be mad you're talking about that one.
Johnny Depp's got a new album out. Have you heard any of this album?
No.
It's him and Jeff Beck, and I guess it's a bunch of songs. Johnny Depp wrote a few of them, and I don't know, you tell me, is he singing to Amber? In the one song called Sad MFing Parade, he sings, you're sitting there like a dog with a 7-year itch. They were together 7 years. And if I had a dime, it would never reach your hand. He also, in other lyrics, said, I think you've said enough for one MFing night. So, yeah, I think he's getting it out.
I think he mentioned Aquaman in the song. But we don't know if it's about Amber Heard, Kev.
And that's what's going on in your dirt.
Yeah, I saw she's trying to get another trial. She's saying that one of the jurors, and it's kind of interesting, they did kind of a switcheroo, that there were two people in this house with the same name. And the
like
older,
a parent and a junior, maybe.
Yeah, and the older was supposed to show, and the younger did instead, or vice versa. And so they're trying to get a new trial based on that.
On a strategy level, this is a terrible move for her to do.
Think so?
Yeah.
You just take it and walk away?
Well, you're gonna try to do this. You're gonna try to do another public trial like this. How did it go the first time?
Yeah, I just wonder. I don't know that America would be so invested on a round two.
No.
You think she went through the ringer the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, people don't want to.
No, I think
It's a
we've
bad
seen it
move.
all. It's entertaining.
We're
but
done.
Yeah, we don't need the sequel. So that's where that all stands.
It's time for viral audio.
So hide your kids, hide your wife. Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Did you happen to watch any of the men's Wimbledon final that was on yesterday?
I did not, Kevin.
You love tennis.
I know.
You missed it.
I know. I was a little busy.
What you doing over there?
Thinking too much.
By yourself or with company?
I was thinking about myself, which is never good.
Was anybody at your house?
Nah, there's nothing awesome or sexy to report.
Damn it.
Well, you had Novak Djokovic. He was going up against Nick Kyrgios from Australia. Kind of a lippy dude that got through because the person he was supposed to take on wound up having an injury. And the entire match, I'm like, this guy is a mental case. He's yelling at all of his family members, coach, or whoever it might be in his own personal box. Almost every time he loses a point, he's turning around, he's screaming at them. He's like, stop standing up or whatever he's doing. I could have sworn, I even rewound it to listen. He throws out the F-bomb. He's like cursing at them. I'm like, how do they allow this? Because Wimbledon is a place where you have to wear white. They're very prestigious. They're stuffy. And here you got a guy just dropping F-bombs. And then he was going off about maybe a drunk lady that was in the stands to the line judge.
Distracting me when I'm serving in a Wimbledon final. It nearly cost me the game. Okay, but why is she still here? Because she's drunk out of her mind in the first row, speaking to me in the middle of the game. What's acceptable? I don't know which one it is. I know exactly which one it is. The one that looks like she's had about 700 drinks, bro.
So it looks like she's had about 700 drinks.
So, Virginia, you went to Wimbledon?
Yeah.
I went to Wimbledon to go heckle.
So it was kind of crazy and chaotic.
Tennis meltdowns are pretty fun. Well, because it's so everyone can see it. It's not like it's a baseball field. It's so quiet that you can hear everything going on.
Yeah. Novak Djokovic, he wound up winning his 7th men's Wimbledon title. That is his 4th straight. Only Roger Federer with 8 has more. And Djokovic is kind of in this race with Rafael Nadal for the most Grand Slam titles ever. They're each setting the record as they go. Rafael Nadal has 22. Djokovic just got his 21st, but Djokovic won't get that COVID shot. And so he's not able to play in most of the tournaments that are out there. So Rafael Nadal's picked up 2 since the whole pandemic started, and he's going to wind up winning it because Djokovic just won't get it. And you got the U.S. Open that's coming up, and you've got, I guess you got to get the shot or something like that to come to the U.S. and play in this tournament. And he's like, I'm not going to do it. So he's already missed like the Australian Open. He's missed the Miami Open. He was supposed to be in that. And I would say arguably he's the best men's tennis player in the world, but he's not going to wind up with the overall Grand Slam title because he won't get that COVID shot.
Crazy.
Yeah. They say likely his next major won't be until the French Open next May.
Wow.
So, yeah. So because of his beliefs, he's going to be sitting out a while. Yeah, some other cool things going on. Billy Joel had a surprise guest. Joe Elliott, lead singer of Def Leppard, joined him in concert.
We're going to bring on a special guest from Def Leppard. Please welcome Joe Elliott.
No way, man.
Billy Joel's guitarist couldn't wait to rip that one out.
Well, Billy Joel, before he ever was the Piano Man, was in a hardcore heavy metal band called Attila. He was, all about that 60s drug rock and roll.
Yeah, okay.
And he's like, this ain't selling so much.
Okay.
Let me lighten up the mood here.
Wow.
But Billy Joel, my guy, let's make some noise for him. Constantly selling out Madison Square Garden.
That is huge.
Year after year after year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's my boy.
He's
Killing
doing good
it.
stuff. Doing good stuff there. Also, the New Kids, they had a concert while we were gone. So people sent us some audio on that. If you missed it, here's how they sounded. Oh, that's just the crowd? Denny just put that in there. I'm like, wait, you just gave me crowd noise?
The video is titled "All You Can Hear at the Concert," and it was crowd noise.
Denny, that could be any crowd anywhere.
That's what I said when I
We
pulled
didn't get
the
any New
audio.
Kids with that crowd.
What is this?
It could be any crowd
That's
anywhere.
what, I could have pulled any crowd.
That
for
was
this.
9 seconds of crowd.
I was waiting to hear the New Kids.
I was too. I'm like, all right, okay, can we get to it? Where's the singing?
You got Denny.
I did.
Messing with
I thought Denny's was messing with me. I'm like, what's going on here? What is this?
You got Denny.
I
Man,
did.
New Kid sounds great.
What
That's
is
awesome.
this?
That's my favorite clip.
That is my favorite moment of the
All
show.
right, so apparently the fans liked it, whatever it sounded like. This is an odd title for an email. Do other people sniff baby head? What? Okay, here's what the email says. It says, my sister just had a baby, and so she has been sending me lots of photos and videos. One thing I've noticed numerous times is that my sister is always sniffing her baby's head. I asked her what that was all about, and she says it's the best smell ever. She said it's the smell of pure and unconditional love.
Aww.
Has my sister gone insane from giving birth, or do other people understand what she's saying? Have you ever sniffed baby head, Virginia?
Totally. I totally get what she's saying. Baby head smells amazing. If it's your baby, it's kind of weird if you're going around sniffing random babies like at the store, but your own baby smells amazing.
So what do you think if I went to Walmart and I saw a baby? I'm like, hey, ma'am, do you mind if I smell your baby? Do you think that might be a problem?
Can I smell your baby's head?
Yeah.
You might get detained.
I think that you should get tased for that.
You should get tased.
Okay, so you don't think it's that crazy, but
No.
Okay, but let me ask you this: how far out can you go with a friend or family level on sniffing your baby's head? Is it only reserved to the mother? The father could sniff the baby's head, right?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Okay. What about grandma?
Grandma can sniff.
Agreed.
Totally.
What about Uncle Frank?
I don't know.
Where do we draw the line on how far out you can go with sniffing baby head?
We stopped inviting Uncle Frank to the barbecue. He said some weird things when he had too much Natty Light.
Is Uncle Frank still single?
Okay, so you totally get what they're saying here, and she's not being an oddball for sniffing her baby's head all the time.
I think it's totally normal. Babies do. They smell so fresh and clean and just lovely.
I've heard not only with the baby's head, but just babies in general, the smell of a baby, of course, barring the pooping of the diaper, but if you just, the smell of an infant's supposed to be something people really do love.
I still smell Rocco all the time. I love the way he smells.
Huh.
I think it might just be, genetic pheromones. I don't know what it is.
Everyone's
but
got a smell.
I love the way Rocco and Mags, I smell them a lot.
You know, puppies kind of have a similar type thing like that, where there's something about puppy breath.
I think if you bathe your puppy, you take care of your puppy, yeah, dogs can be like that too. Now, if you don't, you get one of them farm dogs that's eating its own poop and, laying in the swamp.
Okay. All right. So that's what sniffing baby head is all about. And apparently it's not odd to do.
No, you're
to let you
normal.
know.
You're totally normal. But just keep Uncle Frank away from the baby head.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, if Uncle Frank emailed and goes, I just like sniffing babies. Am I weird?
You can go now, Uncle Frank.
So what do you do if you walk in on Uncle Frank and he's sniffing up your kid?
You tase him.
Yeah, we got to get
tase
him.
him.
You tase him.
He's out of the family.
All right. Time for another round of Bueno o Malo. The good or the bad? That is the big question. What is going to be chosen here? We got two options for you. One that you're going to love, one that you are going to absolutely hate.
I really could use a good snack. I'm coming off a diet. I've been really good. I'm yearning for something just delicious.
Okay. Well, looking at what the Bueno is, you would love this snack.
I would. The thing that is good, that option you know for sure.
You would love this as a snack. This would be a perfect snack for you to be like going, oh, this is so great. So you could really start off your week right if you get this correct.
I'm in that little mode where I can eat bad right now. And I want to eat bad.
You want to be a bad girl?
I want to be such a bad girl. I mean, just nasty.
Okay. Let's see if we can do it here. We got Evelyn in with us again. Hello, Evelyn.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
Good. Okay, so she is going to give you the two options. Of these two, which one sounds good, which one sounds bad? What is option number one here, Evelyn?
Okay. Puede que sea tu artículo favorito en nuestra máquina expendedora con cacahuates.
Okay.
I think I got stomach. I think I'm just trying to do some keywords here.
Work it out, girl.
All right.
Okay.
It didn't feel bad, but I haven't heard option two yet. All right, I'm liking this. I feel good. I feel plugged in.
You feel like that could be something to do. Okay. All right. And then what do we have for option two here, Evelyn?
Okay. Es la ventosa que encuentras al final de uno de los 8 brazos de esta criatura.
Okay. Now, we always recommend trying to find key words here that maybe stick out.
Tuda.
Tuda
seems good.
Tuda.
The last word, criatura.
What is it?
Criatura.
Okay.
Yeah, Tuda.
And may I please hear option one again?
Yes. Puede que sea tu artículo favorito en nuestra máquina expendedora con cacahuates.
I don't know, man. The second one is starting to feel better.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds awesome.
I feel like the first, I don't know. Okay. So, I'm all twisted.
Okay.
I mean, I have nothing.
Nothing. There's not
a word in there I can kind of.
Okay.
There's words on each one that I like that make me feel good, which scares me.
Option one. What is the word that you like that you just heard?
Cacahuates.
Yeah, that seems like that's good. And then there's a word in the second one that seems like it's delicious.
Okay, Evelyn, if we can hear the second one again.
Okay. Es la ventosa que encuentras al final de uno de los 8 brazos de esta criatura.
Yes.
Criatura.
Yes.
Criatura.
Yes.
How do you say it?
Criatura.
Criatura?
Criatura.
Okay, that feels good, but I don't know. And who picked it?
Well, you can just have them both if you like them both.
And I'm nervous. I hope I don't get the dreaded lemon juice. No. Oh, it ain't gonna be no lemon juice.
It's not gonna be lemon juice.
I know it's not gonna be no lemon juice. It's gonna be awful.
It was a culmination of Virginia chose the bad, Denny chose the good.
Oh my gosh, good and evil.
Yeah.
This is good and evil. No.
And bueno o malo. Exactly that. Okay, which option are you going to go with here? 1 or 2, Jbird?
I'm looking at Virginia. I'm trying to get something out of her.
Yeah, you got nothing out of me.
I'll go option dose.
Okay. All right. We need the blindfold for the
Put your
bird.
blindfold on. Denny's is preparing both options in the other room.
Mm-hmm.
Denny's, bring him dose.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get kind of like clues from y'all by your energy in here, because I know y'all know the answer.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All
Are you guys
right.
happy or sad right now?
Denny's is going to feed you the option here. Is it going to be the great snack I know you'd love, or is it going to be what Virginia picked out for you? Okay, open up. Denny's is about to pop it in your mouth here. Bueno o malo, which did you choose?
I hate being blindfolded and hearing Virginia laugh. Okay. All right, Denny's, put it in.
Okay.
He's on the other side of you.
Okay.
You're facing the wrong direction.
Put it in, Denny's.
Just don't smell it.
Okay, here he goes, and it's in his mouth, and he's chewing, and...
Yeah. Oh, no. Here's the trash can.
He yelled no.
No. I got a feeling he chose Malo. Oh,
no.
yuck. Oh, boy.
In front front of Evelyn?
man.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm too slow.
Boy.
What is
There's
it?
a lady in here.
Yeah. Oh, man.
What is it?
You chose octopus tentacles. Yeah, the translation was, it is the suction cup you find at the end of one of this creature's 8 arms. Criatura. Criatura, creature. Yeah.
You like that? That tastes like a dump.
Yeah.
A dump in the sea?
Not that I've ever eaten a dump. Yeah, like a trash dump. I don't
Your
know.
eyes are watering.
It aged me 9 years.
The first option that you did not choose, what was Bueno, was a Snickers bar.
Aw.
It said the translation was, it might be your favorite item in our vending machine with its peanuts. Cacahuates.
Yes.
And you had favorito in there as well as a keyword. But sometimes we do kind of trick you up, and favorite could be on a bad, but it was on a good this time.
Is that old Octo?
It might be expired.
Smells terrible.
Gosh.
When he walked in.
Oh, yeah.
to get
oh,
toe
my
pain from
gosh.
I don't recommend eating seafood from a can
Denny's is covered
unless
in it.
you're doing this bit.
Oh,
Do people
my
fry
gosh.
that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because if you eat it like that, I don't see how anybody could ever enjoy that. It was that bad.
It's from a can.
I couldn't swallow most of it. It wouldn't go down.
I know, we saw.
Wow. Okay.
Thank you,
Ralph.
Evelyn.
That stuff. Evelyn, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay.
You Ralphed about 2 inches from poor Evelyn.
There
I
you
know.
go.
I feel so bad about Ralph in front of her. It's
She's
awful.
seen a lot.
Gosh, I know. It's terrible. I'm blindfolded. I don't know where anything is.
Well, people talk about prioritizing their mental well-being and mental health, and Shawn Mendes did just that. Apparently, he felt a little down and out, so he took 3 weeks off of his tour for his mental health. He's not expected to resume to touring until his show July 31st in Toronto. So that's a dude that's actually doing it. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, where people are set. I haven't heard any brushback on it, but if people start canceling tours or concert dates saying, you know what, I need a break. I'm just burnt out and my mental health is not good. Will fans be accepting of it? I mean, that's awesome. Good for you, man. And I hope they are, but you know how people might get.
Well, if you paid money for a ticket,
Yeah.
and then, he doesn't want to do the show and you paid for it, he needs to give all those people a refund.
I would imagine he'll either do a make good or, there will be refunds. So you're right. You have to do it the right way if you're going to do that. So an interesting move. How many other artists will follow what Shawn Mendes is doing? Well, if you have got a Monday that is harsh on your mental health and things are not going well for you, maybe you can find misery in company by going to the F My Life website. A lot of people post up things that just are not really going their way. So maybe you can relate to some of these. Somebody said, today I couldn't leave my room because my dad was having sex with a strange woman in the living room. FML.
In the living room.
In the living
Look,
room.
when you got roommates and stuff, the living room's supposed to be the area where none of that's supposed to go down. And if you are doing it, you better celebrate that quietly.
And Dad, you're right. You can't, you're a prisoner in your own. What are you going to do other than climbing out the window? And if that's not an option, you are stuck in your room until Dad is done.
I'm sorry if I'm hungry though, and I got that doggy bag in the fridge. I'm crawling on the ground. I'm trying to be quiet, but there's no way.
There's no way you could be quiet with a doggy bag.
Oh boy.
Somebody else posted up. They said, today I realized the only reason my girlfriend is dating me is because she has a pimple fetish.
Well, you know what? Hey, she's into you.
She likes you because you're gross.
She likes you because you're pussy.
At least she's into you. I'll have full.
Guys, he said that. So what do you love most about me? Your pimples.
Oh.
Someone else said, today at my supermarket job, I told an elderly woman that we no longer sell her favorite juice due to supply chain issues. She got so upset that she peed on the floor, and I had to clean it up.
Oh.
There's a lot to unpack there, but I do get being distraught over an item. She loves that juice so much, and that's a routine for her.
Yeah.
Did she pee on purpose in protest, or did she just...
So it doesn't say, was it a protest or was it just so emotionally overwhelming that her favorite juice was gone?
Either way, it's gross.
Either way, they
wrong.
said, I don't get paid enough for this. So somebody else said, today I received a visit from a school counselor. My son told his teacher I was starving him all because I refused to let him eat pizza and ice cream for breakfast. Okay.
I feel like when I was in school, they didn't care what you were fed. There was no health anything.
No, it was different.
In fact, the health chart they would give us had cheese and bread on there.
They said eat a lot of bread and cheese.
Oh my God. I don't know why I'm gaining weight.
I can't jog during recess because I'm fat.
Somebody else said today at my first day on the job, a customer threatened my life because our vending machine had run out of Doritos, FML. You noticing how upset people are getting with products?
Seems legit.
Well, okay, I'll tell you why they're getting it. Because I know the frustration. I drove 20 minutes to a store to get something, and they were completely out. So that's 40 minutes of wasted time thinking it was going to be there, and it was just gone. And that's happening to a lot of items. And I was really looking forward to it.
It's just something in our society you're seeing a lot of unnecessary rage. People becoming that crazy because you can't get Doritos. That's why you're so outraged.
I did notice though, they're at one of the Publixes I go to, there's only 2 flavors available right now, and usually we're living in a time where Doritos is 7 flavors deep.
Okay, yeah, it's a tough time for people who want their stuff. If you don't believe me, I've got a couple of stories of unnecessary outrage here in your Whacked Out News.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the Whacked Out News. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the Whacked Out News. So many people on meth. Ow!
Well, I thought it was going to be the top story on the news this morning, and I looked everywhere and I haven't found it. Did or did they not break the world record for the most people skinny dipping at one time? This was the Treasure Coast naturists that
Did they
were
break
doing this.
it or not? We have got mixed reports.
They were hoping to do it. Last year, they got 431 people setting the record at Blind Creek Beach in St. Lucie County.
That's over 860 old balls if it's all dudes.
If it was all dudes, yeah, you're right.
And if everyone's got their ball. You can't assume that, Virginia.
True.
Can't assume it.
A few of them dudes might be down a ball.
Yeah, so I don't know if they were able to get more than 431 people, if anybody was there, or if you have an update, let us know.
And what's that like, that event? Is everyone just kind of standing around with their privates out? And are you doing small talk during that?
I'd imagine so, yeah.
Oh, Bob, you have eggs today? I sure did.
Maybe you wear like a robe and then you just go, okay, 3, 2, 1, and drop it and run.
I think it's against the code. I think they love being naked, and it's not sexual to them. It's all about being, pure. And
they're the naturists.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, if you don't know, Blind Creek Beach is now clothing optional. So if you haven't been there since June of 2020, it's made some changes.
You'll be surprised if you go thinking it's just a normal beach.
Yes, you go second week of July. Yes, every year apparently this is their new thing. Well, there's a retired Texas couple that is at risk of losing their home after they fed ducks in their yard, and their homeowners association has sued them. They were feeding these ducks for 2 years before somebody complained to the HOA, and now the HOA is taking them to court. And if they lose, they'll have to pay up to $250,000 in fees.
For feeding ducks?
For feeding ducks. And if they can't come up with it, they might have to foreclose on their home. And the couple already said, we're going to have to put the house on the market because we don't have that kind of money on hand.
Oh, my God.
All for feeding ducks, huh? Crazy.
I mean, I do get what the HOA is saying on this one, because if you feed the ducks, then the ducks come and they poop all over everything. And duck poop is really hard to clean up.
And I feel like ducks poop, on the reg. And when I mean that, every other minute.
Why does every duck have diarrhea?
I swear to you, if I watch a duck for more than 5 minutes, it's going to take 6 craps.
Well, there's a man who threatened to stab a father in the neck with a fork at the Wasabi Steakhouse in Estero, Florida. The family was just eating dinner with their 2 kids when the young children became, I guess, disruptive and loud. That's when Joseph Vader at the next table started arguing with the father. The father gets the family out of the restaurant, and then this Vader dude follows them out to their car and is inches away from the father's face, threatening to stab him in the neck with a fork. He then punches their car window, leaving damage. He was arrested for being a hothead and insane. Can you imagine what the kids were like at that point?
Oh my gosh.
What would be worse? I mean, getting stabbed with a fork, it's so dull.
That is aggressive.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it is. You do some damage. There's a man that got arrested for yelling at a woman before spitting on her driver's side window during a road rage incident in Naples. So Florida is full of hotheads.
Damn.
That all happened when the woman was driving and a man almost hit her car driving out of the La Quinta Hotel. Got to watch out around La Quintas.
just for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Everybody there's mad. They're mad because they said it at La Quinta.
A 26-year-old guy in Georgia broke into his grandma's house by headbutting a window, and then he stole a weed eater.
Wow. That was aggressive, too. Headbutt a window?
And that's the kind of combination you need to get in the Whacked Out News.
Why don't you just kick it in? Did you have to headbutt it?
Apparently so, but Grandma's saying the reason why he did that is because he was on drugs, and the proof might be is that cops later found him pushing the weed eater down the street in a baby stroller.
People that headbutt, they're at a different level.
If you're headbutting windows and then pushing weed whackers down the street in a baby stroller, you've officially crossed the line from
might
fun
be on
party.
drugs if.
I mean, headbutting in general. I mean, you're swinging with your head.
Dude.
It's a lot.
It's aggressive.
There's a TV news anchor in Albany, New York, Heather Kovar, that got suspended after slurring her words through a broadcast on Saturday. No word on if she was hammered, but this is what it did sound like.
105 degrees in Texas today. I just spoke with my mother. That's what she's dealing with. It's a major heat wave, and it's just heading everywhere. We're so lucky. It's only 80 degrees here. We are really lucky here in the capital region. I mean, let me tell you about that. These areas are reaching such areas. I mean, it's Houston, Austin, San Antonio.
Hammered or not hammered?
These areas are reaching such
These reachers are reaching such areas. Wow.
I don't know. I can hear you saying that.
Sober. I don't hate her act. I like getting the weather from her.
Yeah, can all of the weather ladies be hammered?
I think the news is a little stuffy.
That's how you make it more fun.
I mean, they're not expected. It has happened. Like, you don't need us telling you that it's bad. It's like people are being told to like stay inside, drink a lot of water, and we are just lucky. This weekend right here is so amazing.
Wow. She's just going off. She's not even the weather person. She's the anchor.
That's crazy.
Dang.
Meteorologist Craig Adams is right here with you. I'm sorry, Craig Adams. Why did I say that? Of course, clearly, like here, we're taking a live look over downtown Albany. And of course, just like me, meteorologist Craig Gold is working a double shift. And so he's in. And we've been tracking this. And, you know, we've been talking about just like what it's been like across the country and the different reasons that why it's so hot in other areas, and we're having really nice weather here. So let's get over to Craig Gold. Hey, Craig.
All right, good evening, Heather. And yeah, the weather has been quite nice here across the Northeast.
Whoa.
Craig don't know what to do.
Wow, Craig's like, thanks.
I'll have what she's having.
Dang.
She just kept rambling.
Oh, man, oh, man.
If you're
She was
behind,
like.
if you're behind the scenes as the boss, you're going, oh my
you're
gosh.
like, oh, my gosh. Wow.
I think she's a star.
This has happened before, though. This has happened on major networks where someone's been doing a live broadcast and hammered.
A little tipsy.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A little Kahlua in your coffee, Heather?
Yeah.
Well, there's a woman in Fresno, California seeking monetary damages after a doctor removed her spleen instead of a diseased kidney.
Oh,
Whoops.
damn. He left the sick kidney and took the healthy spleen?
Yes, he did. That's not a good thing.
Dude.
And Starbucks had its own problems. It had to yank its chicken, maple butter, and egg sandwich off the menu on June 27th, just 6 days after they had launched the new sandwich. Apparently, it was giving customers massive cases of diarrhea.
Is that in their commercial?
Are you looking to lose some weight? Have the new chicken, maple butter, egg sandwich. It'll flush everything out.
There were also other customers complaining that they bit into chicken bones, while others said the new breakfast sandwich was ice cold in the middle.
They had bones in their sandwich?
Bones
or
and-
ice cold?
Do you like bones and diarrhea?
Starbucks. Maybe stick to coffee. I don't know if chicken y'all's thing.
That is not
You're
their
right.
thing.
You guys got too cute.
You got too cute. Get back to coffee.
That's right. This would be handy if you are going on a first date or if you're meeting somebody new for the first time. You ever been in a situation where you're trying to strike up a conversation and you just don't know what to say? Or you're just really trying to get to know somebody and fast. And you're like, okay, how do I really kind of cut through all this BS? Because you don't want to waste all these times on dates that go nowhere.
I kind of feel like if you start talking about food and asking someone what their favorite foods are and snacks, you can tell a lot, not only by their answers, but how they answer the question. Do they think it's a dumb question? If they think it's dumb, we're not going to jive.
Okay. And so if they're playful, that's a good first step.
100.
So that at least they're playing along. Now, what they say during even playful answers, how would that affect you? Like, for instance, if you asked Mayo or Miracle Whip, and they go Miracle Whip.
So it would be awesome because we'd have a spirited debate about it, but that's not a make or break.
Yeah.
But that would be good because you're now talking and having a conversation. I love that.
Sure, absolutely. Just even little simple things like that people can be very passionate about. Crystal had said go with the Mayo or Miracle Whip. I found that worked.
It's so good. That is a good one.
Yeah. Grant had said drum or flat. That is kind of interesting, and I would love debating that. And I never thought anyone liked the flats. I thought you just had to deal with them.
I think the flats are more juicy.
Well, it's odd because, my family, my son Cannon and my wife, they both prefer the flats. To me, I would think everybody would race for the drummies because that's the one that's big, thick, looks like a big old chicken leg. And you're like, that's what you would want with all the meat.
And it's kind of like an awesome spoon for the blue cheese.
I stand with Ralston on this one. I think the drum is way better than the flat.
I was surprised just how many people actually are down with the flats. I felt rude because I would always go for the drums. But in my family, it's awesome because it balances out. I go for the drums, I go for the flats. So that's why, in a sense, I'd argue that if you're in a relationship and you ask that question, be more encouraged if they say the exact opposite of what you say, because then you got a perfect meal right there.
It works great in my marriage because Panda loves white meat and I love dark meat. So together we can eat the whole chicken.
Okay.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Go with that.
You could do that one.
Good icebreaker question. Blue cheese or ranch?
Oh, blue cheese. So I don't want it chunky, Kevin. I want it real chunky.
You ask a 24-year-old bird, he's going to go ranch.
Really?
Yeah, the palate changes.
You've changed.
Kimberly had said a good icebreaker question is just asking what's your favorite meal?
Yeah, food. What's your stance on aliens? Do you believe in aliens?
Okay.
Virginia would be so... this is so terrible. What a terrible date this is. Wow.
Remind me not to go on a date with you.
Give me my flats.
Yeah.
Give me the flats and a lot of booze.
And we had talked about this earlier. Karen had put on the KVJ Show Facebook page. She said, good icebreaker question I found. Do you listen to KVJ?
Okay.
It'll weed out a lot of people who are too stuffy, and it tells me all I need to know.
If you don't listen, then you probably won't get our stupid humor.
That couple I met over the weekend, the woman loved our show. The boyfriend, not so much.
Which is awesome because she's awkward, you're awkward, and he's just droning on about how much he hates you.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Debbie said one of the best icebreaker questions is, do you like dogs?
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. I could see that definitely, because if people are passionate about dogs, man, are they passionate about dogs. And if they don't like dogs, then you may not click.
Yeah.
David said, do you like sports? That's another one. I'll tell you, with myself and my wife, that was one of the first things that drew me to her was how much she loves sports. And it's been a big part of our life and our marriage together is watching sports or playing sports.
And you
having our
still,
kids.
you go to events together.
Yeah.
There's sports. You play together as a family.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like murder documentaries?
Okay. Yeah.
Check, please.
If a guy asks me on a first date if I like murder, I don't know.
Hey, give me your thoughts on murder.
Hey.
You can usually get a murder vibe from a woman if she's into it, Virginia.
You look like you'd be fun to skin.
There's a lot of people who are into murder, though. The specials, of course.
Patty said her icebreaker question is, tell me about your family. It very quickly will weed out the crazies.
Oh, that's good.
Uh-huh. Joy said, I ask, who are the most important people to you?
Oh, that's good too.
Mm-hmm. Heather said, ask, are you in therapy? Some people may run at the answer, and others may appreciate that you're working on yourself. It's all about the perception.
Is that a first date conversation?
I feel like it's too
much.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Don't ask that on a first date.
I kind of don't want to know on the first date because you're in therapy because you're working on something that's bringing you down. It's going to get heavy before the appetizers.
But if you're not self-aware enough to keep some stuff private in the beginning, I kind of feel like you don't have a really good gauge on what to say in public.
I will say just going on dates and stuff, it's probably one of the biggest, I think, faux pas people do. They will go quickly into talking about their ex and how terrible their ex is.
Yeah.
And the flats or the drumsticks haven't even gotten to the table yet.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So you haven't even debated the drummy question.
Yeah, and we're talking about these heavy.
If you're talking about your ex, girlfriend, or boyfriend, and it's a first date, you're not doing it right.
And I see how it's easy. You can, if you're having a drink and all of a sudden it gets in your head, you're just gonna reel it in.
Don't do it.
I've been married to the Mexican queen for over 20 years, and we've never had any conversation about any of our exes.
Not one.
No.
Wow.
Not one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And are you cool? You're cool with that?
I'm all right with it. I'm one of those people. Whatever happened in your past happened in your past. Why would I care to know?
I'm with you. I don't really want to know about the past unless we really need
Has
to.
nothing to do with today or what we're doing or what we're gonna do.
Oh, that was Jake. He was great lover. I don't want to know about Jake and how great of a lover he was.
Oh, he dropped the hammer.
A lot of Jakes do.
Yeah. Because I don't need to know the bad stuff about them.
Yeah.
I mean, where is that relevant? And I definitely don't want to hear the good stuff.
That's just it. I don't want to know.
Jake was the most amazing lover. Kevin, you'll never measure up.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah,
What's the point?
Keep it in the past.
Never have, never will. Talking about good icebreaker questions, what exactly would you ask? Stephanie had one that I think would be effective too. Do you like to drink? Beverages. Yeah, that seems to be a...
You might not like dinner with me then.
Yeah.
If you're not into drinking.
Well, you notice I just ordered a drink. So
I'm not saying it can't work, but I will say it's going to be some challenges. If you do enjoy cocktails and the other one does not,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it could be tough. Elizabeth said, if there was a fire in your house, what would you grab before you exited?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's fun. That's like a Google question.
Okay. Also, Eric said, just asking simply, what do you like to do for fun? That'll cut through a lot. And if you're talking about a date, you can get right at it and be like, okay, you can imagine their life as they're describing what they like to do for fun and you seeing yourself there in that. And like, well, I really like model trains. And you're like,
I don't always even know these people for having a toy hobby.
Are you a full-grown man that plays with toys?
That displays them. There's a difference.
Simmer down, diorama boy. You play with them. You do full-on scenarios and video it.
No, if making a diorama is playing with toys, then guilty as charged, Your Honor.
He does explosions.
I did a great
They die in battle.
My studio looked great right now. Dioramas galore.
Jake said, my icebreaker question, do you wipe from the front or back? Okay, that's not going to go very far.
That's a little weird.
That's yeah. Is
that from Jake?
That's from Jake. Jake from State Farm.
He drops it hot, but he's a little crude.
That's why he can, because he knows he does Virginia.
And somebody else texted and said, is it awkward to pull out a written list of questions on a first date?
Look, I think everything is approach, and you got to feel out a situation. We've all been in situations before where you meet somebody and there's just a connection, and you're having a good time and goofy. Read the room.
Yeah, if they handled it the right way and they said, okay, here's a list of things I always love to know.
Yes.
Yeah, that could be cute.
That could totally be fun.
Do it with confidence and do it with a fun attitude.
But
don't do it like, okay, I'm going to be giving you a job interview.
Don't make it uncozy. Make it a fun thing. You're having a couple drinks, and not everyone would like that. That's one of those things I think you have to kind of feel out your situation. Going, I don't know if the question game's going to work with this scenario.
Yeah. Okay. All right, did have an update. Thank you very much. We were talking about the Treasure Coast Naturists. They had their annual skinny dip yesterday at Blind Creek Beach in St. Lucie County.
The running of the balls.
They were trying to break last year's world record of 431 skinny dippers, and happy to say somebody texted and said there were over 700 people.
Whoa.
That were there.
Quick math, Virginia. I mean, that's 1,400 balls.
1,400 balls if they're all dudes.
That's it.
So many balls.
Pretty impressive stuff.
And look, we all know not all NARS are created equal.
And the older they get, the lower they hang, and a lot of them naturists are older.
Yeah. So how much does it cost to be happy in Florida? Apparently, they're able to even put a dollar amount on this. A study done by Purdue University and GoBankingRates.com has figured it all out, and we are expensive. Go figure.
Yeah, but we kind of knew that already. We fancy.
They said you need a minimum annual salary of $105,315 to be happy in Florida. They say that people who are making less than that are stressed out about all kinds of bills, are stressed out about their leases, gas, and all kinds of things. So that is the dollar amount they say that you need. But to let you know, there are places that can be worse. Like if you just got here from New York, you know that things are a little bit better. $155,610 is what you need to be happy.
Wow.
For an annual salary in New York.
That jumps quite a bit.
California is $149,000+. So they also found that the ideal income for life satisfaction in North America in general is $105,000. So we're not much above the national average, oddly enough. For people and people do love to bitch about Florida and how awful it is. But I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just a home. I love Florida.
I love Florida too.
Yeah.
But I think too, every situation's going to be different. If you're a person like me, I live alone. I don't have any kids. I'm not married. My situation's going to be different than y'all's. And you guys got a whole family up in this.
There's so much fun stuff to do in Florida. I feel like Florida has more options than most other places.
Yeah, I mean, that was the one thing for me just over the break that we came back from. It was nice. We wound up not doing anything. We had plans. Oh, we're going to go to the Keys. No, we're going to go to Hard Rock. Or this and that. And nothing came through.
Did you like it, though? Do you like a staycation and just chilling? Or would you have rather had gone explored and having an adventure?
It didn't really bother me because, the weather was great. We got out a good bit. And to me, we would go to places. And probably what we did is there are some fancier places like that old Spruzzo that's on top of the bend, some place like that where you look at it and you're like, the cocktails are a little pricey.
Oh, yeah.
But the view's absolutely amazing. We're like, all right, let's do a couple places like that we don't go to all the time just because the cocktail prices are crazy. So we did a few of those. That's kind of where we did. But I got to tell you, honestly, there's a big part of it where I talked to some people and they were dropping a good chunk of money on their summer vacations. And I'm like, you know what? I'm okay we didn't. At the end of it, I had a good enough time. And I'm all good.
And you're trying to save a little bit of cash too.
We are. We're right now in a time we've had it's kind of been the whole thing. We've had a whole bunch of little I gotta wait and see moments that could be costing a ton of money. So
unexpected bills and things kind of materialize that you were not seeing coming at you.
We're weeding through a lot of stuff.
Well, the witch went to Orlando and Kentucky. What did the Snickers drop over the break? You had to have at least dropped $3,000, right?
Just shy of that, but yeah. The mouse was expensive. Orlando was expensive, but we only went to one park one day. I don't know how these families do it. You'll see like a family of like 5 people and they'll go to Disney for a week.
Yeah.
And they do like every park. They stay on property. I mean, those people drop like $6,000.
Yeah, I talked to a couple people just here recently, and my wife, she has family friends that they've known forever, and every year that was their vacation. 2 weeks, they would bring the whole family to Disney, and then as they got boyfriends, girlfriends, or even got married, then the parents would spring for that. And
wow.
They would drop a minimum of $20,000.
Oh my God.
$20,000 they would drop in
That's
2
insane.
weeks. 10 a week. Yeah.
But they love it though.
Yeah,
and it
that's their
keeps their
thing.
family connected.
You're right.
As we get older, and you know this because half your kids are gone.
Right.
It's nice to do stuff as a family because then you get time together that you don't get anymore.
That's always kind of the that's really the big debate about making memories, and do I give the money to that or do I need to hold on to it right now? Man, I think I know that's always our debate is, all right, do we go for it or do we, be conservative and hang hang tight. And I think probably it's a mix.
Yeah.
Half the time you need to be conservative. Half the time you need to go and make some memories.
I remember I played ball with this guy, and he gets a lot of money and an inheritance, but he didn't want to spend any of it.
Yeah.
And he saved it and really was, and that's all he talked about was how he's crushing it because he's saving. He ended up getting hit by a car and dying, never spent a cent of it.
So that's awesome. Cool.
Damn.
Sorry, Virginia, that's your act.
Yeah.
That was a great story.
She loved it.
Sorry.
I
Yeah.
didn't see it coming, neither did he.
Yeah.
I don't think he did, no. But that just kind of goes. You never
right.
know.
You're
Do you
right.
spend, do you save?
Live for today.
Yeah.
You can always make more money. You can't make more memories with your kids or
I don't
your
know, Virginia.
family.
You get hit by a car, now you can't work. So you can't make any more money.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, he's
Yeah.
dead.
he is. He's passed away.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But I
rest
mean,
in
imagine if
peace.
you just horribly maimed.
But that was his whole thing. Was how I got all this. I'm going to be so set for the future. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Yeah,
No
you're right.
future.
Yeah.
But he had a pretty casket, though.
Yeah. Yeah, the best ever. Well, this is something you will also see here in Florida with the old crotchety people. People that just, as they get older, they're just nasty. And then you often wonder, be like, if I would have run into them when they were 15, were they nasty? Were they nasty at 30? Are they just nasty people?
Great question.
Or has age made them nasty? And why is that? Why do you see that? Because maybe not everybody was so nasty. So why do some people get so nasty and hateful as they get older?
And why are they all on my HOA?
Right, exactly. I think I might actually have the answer to that question coming up next. So, you know, when you see the old crotchety people here in Florida, were they just always that way? Or has age made them crotchety and nasty?
Great question.
Well,
It's probably a combo of both.
I think you might have a little bit of both, but it depends. Now, if you find somebody that wasn't always that way, why? One text message we just got says, my grandfather is one of those people who's gotten nasty as he's gotten older. And the reason why, he's in pain from different ailments. He can't physically do the things that he wants to and used to. He's bored at home all day, and he just sits and stews about anything.
And I think that's a great comment. I know relatives who have done that, who they don't do anything else but sit and stew, and they're not active and they're not doing anything. And sometimes it is because of pain, but sometimes it's just because they're sitting and stewing.
It kind of breaks my heart.
It does.
Because think about it. I mean, you're not living. What are you doing?
No, that's true. And there are things that you can do about it. So this is going to be good. One, to identify the problem, and two, to solve the problem. First, to identify it, there are some physiological things that do happen. Apparently, you do become more introverted as you age. That's just kind of part of aging, they say, for some people.
Really?
They see the tendencies. Yes, more people tend to get introverted. Not say everybody, but the tendencies are that you will. As you get older, you might also develop social anxiety. Going out and meeting new people can become more taxing than it used to.
Because you've been to the puppet show, you've seen the strings, and you know what happens sometimes when you meet people. It can get weird.
Your tolerance for people judging you and telling you what to do shrinks to zero. The older you get, the more often people have let you down, and that makes you really jaded towards people. So it's your life experiences. If you haven't had great experiences with other people, you may just kind of think people suck. You discover that 99% of the people that you meet are fake. You realize that dealing with people's drama is exhausting.
Oh.
And that would probably lead to a lot of people being introverted, be like, I don't even want to deal with it.
Amen.
You're burnt out. And they say once you're burnt out, it can take up to 3 to 5 years to recover from burnout.
Wow.
How about that, huh? They say it's harder to manage stress, too, as you get older. Stress can actually become more difficult to overcome, and it can turn to anger.
And it can also turn to tequila.
Because again, I think you're not comfortable in your skin anymore, especially if you're in pain and you're not going out and doing stuff. I mean, throwing out your back can put you in such a bad mood. A toothache.
Yeah, right.
Imagine if you're old and you've got multiple ailments and it's bad. You're in a lot of pain. You're going to be in a pissy mood.
So that's kind of identifying the why. So what do you do if you are getting older, or you have somebody that is older and they seem to hate everybody? How can you help them out? One of the key things they say is to stop being bitter at the world as you grow older is you got to maintain a practice of gratitude. That is so key. And I got to tell you, I'm so proud of my dad. He shot me a text over the weekend, and, you know, we're 11 months out from my mom passing from COVID. And I always remember my mom used to tell me, she's like, you know what? Your dad's got to go first because he wouldn't survive without me. That was Mom's belief always. And I got to tell you, I hate to break this to you, Mom, but I think he's doing better than ever. I mean, honestly.
He's thriving.
He is thriving. My dad is an only child and an introvert. And I think a big part of it, he's loving life. Mom used to push him into things that he wasn't comfortable with. And now he's settled into being the introvert and he's loving life.
There are some people who really can be alone for great lengths of time and be very happy doing it.
Yeah. He sent me this text, and I was very happy to read this, and I do believe that he's being sincere. He said, I want you to know just how happy and how wealthy your papa is. He said, I own a small car that gets 34 miles to the gallon. It's in the free and clear. I got a son, daughter-in-law, and 3 grandchildren. And I also have a bunch of dogs that will wake me up in the morning and a gray cat that'll purr while laying on my chest. I got plenty of food. I've learned to eat somewhat healthy. I got many DVDs that you gave me. I do miss Mama, but I love living alone. I really don't think I could be happier.
Wow. Well, I'm glad. You want your parents to be happy.
But everything he's in there, he lists off a bunch of other things as well, but it was gratitude. I'm happy to see it. My dad at his age and under his circumstances, losing his wife in the last year, has as much gratitude and looks at the positive things of life as he does.
I wish that my dad could hang out with your dad because they kind of went through the same thing in the last year.
Right.
My dad lost his wife too, and I just came from visiting him hours ago, pretty much, and he's struggling still. You know, he's trying to get to that place where your dad is.
Right.
I got an email from Kevin's dad, and I got to tell you, I am so excited to party with that guy.
Oh, yeah.
What did he say?
Excited.
Can you read it to us?
He sent me a Bigfoot meme thingy. Yeah.
Yeah. He knows that Bigfoot festival's coming up.
And you're going to stay there in his house?
Yeah, if he's cool with it, but now that I'm here, he likes to be alone.
I think he'd be okay with the company. He'd enjoy you.
Short-term visits.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make him do anything crazy or anything.
Yeah. Other things that you can do to stop being bitter as you grow older, learn to let go of things. It's kind of that whole analogy of holding onto a hot coal, waiting for an opportunity to throw it at the person who wronged you. You actually are burning yourself the entire time.
Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy?
I think the problem is sometimes is people don't know how to let go. They want to let go. They just don't know what to do to get to that point.
And sometimes it's fun to hate Rob Schneider. I got to tell you.
I wasn't talking about you, but now that we got to you, gotta let it go, dog.
Never.
Another way to stop being bitter, take responsibility for your life. Avoid making the same mistakes twice and stop thinking that the world owes you something.
Oh, that's true.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
No one owes you nothing. Get out there and hustle.
Another way to stop being bitter, filter out the noise, i.e. social media.
Yeah, you were talking about relatives sitting in a house stewing. I saw it with Aunt Ann. And Aunt Ann was an active older person. She drove, she did a lot of stuff, but she could have done more. And she would get on the internet and she would get on the boob tube and just stew about stuff that was way out of her control. And you would start to see a little bit of her spirit diminish because of that. You got to be careful at whatever age you're at.
The political media stuff on all sides does that. They play on your emotions. They always give you stories that make you angry. And next thing you know, you're in a tailspin.
And it makes you feel bad. You read something and then you're like, why am I so mad at this? I can't control I just got to shut off social media. It's a whole chain reaction of emotions with all that.
Stop watching politics if it gets you heated. You don't want to be heated, right? You don't want to be mad.
They're addicted to it, Virginia. I know.
You got to stop the madness. If something is making you an unhappy person and making you sad or fight with your family, you got to disconnect from that.
They're addicted to it.
Turn it off. Politics are dumb.
Another couple things that you can do. Gardening, a way to stop being bitter. And somebody else said smoke a lot of weed. So there you go.
You can actually garden and grow your own.
Oh, my gosh.
That could be your
tend
garden.
to your weed garden.
A weed farmer. That's the secret to growing old. Well, he's always got a gazillion things going on, but whenever he's free, we love to check in with our buddy Rob Van Winkle, otherwise known as Vanilla Ice. Rob, what's going on, bud?
Hey, Kev. How's it going, brother?
Good, man. How the heck you been?
Hey, I've been working, you know?
You hustle, dude. I'm telling you, I'm waiting for you to slow down, and you don't slow down. You keep hitting me up with all kinds of new stuff that you got going on. I'm like, man, when's he ever take a break?
Hey, if you don't grind, you don't shine.
Okay, all right. He's always got the clips, man.
I love it. Any truth to the rumor that you changed your number because Kevin was calling you too much?
No truth at all. In fact, Kenny told me that my number is messed up. I got to figure this out.
Kevin tried to call you. He's like,
hotline to
damn.
me anytime.
It changed. He tried to call you. He thought he changed on him.
No, I haven't changed my number in 20-something years.
That's the way to be. That's the way to be. Well, if people need to catch up real quick, I know you got the I Love the 90s tour going on. You guys are hitting some dates sporadically here and there. I kind of like the way that it's spaced out a little bit because I can imagine, when you used to tour, it would be a constant grind. Different city, different town. And now it looks like you guys take about, maybe a week or so off. You do have a few back-to-back dates, but you got a little bit of a break there. So you kind of hit. Now, do you come back to Florida in between these dates?
It's funny, Kev, how you pitch that. It sounds like I got a break. It sounds great. But what I'm doing is filming my TV show in between, so I really don't get a break.
Wow.
What it is on the weekend, I could still be basically the oldest teenager in town and dance around on stage and enjoy, just the 90s. I mean, it's infectious. These shows are, they're stadium shows. They're sold out. It's amazing how many people want to just go back to the 90s,
Yeah.
And they're our age, and all the way down to 9 years old. Thank God for YouTube. They weren't even born during Ice Ice Baby.
And not to mention, too, I'm looking at who's on the bill, and they're just jam-packed full of great songs. I mean, they got you, of course, Ice Ice Baby. You've got Coolio's on there, Tone Loc is on there, Rob Bass is on there, Young MC, Tag Team.
I mean, that's a banger lineup right there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's incredible. It's all the stuff you'd hear at a wedding today,
Yes.
You'll recognize every song. You'll know every word. And you will officially, no matter how old you are, younger or older, but you will be a teenager during this experience.
What's it like?
My thing is, for me, unfortunately, I got to be a lousy adult on Monday morning, like today. I'm in the office, and the weekend's over.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I'm filming a new season of the Vanilla Ice project. So it's for me, I got to go right back into the grind here at home and accept responsibilities.
What town are you filming in right now? Can you say where the new project is?
Yes, we're filming actually in Gulfstream, right here, Palm Beach.
Wow.
Yeah, we're doing a house that's been abandoned for 12 years.
Wow.
So the weeds were coming over the roof, but the good thing is it's a big house. It's on the water. It's on the Intercoastal, and it's going to be a beautiful thing when I'm done. So it's a good one for me, but it would be a stressor for most people.
Gulfstream's a fascinating little town. That's where they had that Briny Breezes. That's the trailer park that they wouldn't sell, and now all these people are putting up these really big houses. So that's genius. Rob knows his real estate. That's genius to put something up there, but they're putting up bigger mansions, and it's weird to drive through Gulfstream because you're like, ooh, beautiful house, trailer park. Yeah. So.
That one's been there forever. I remember Trump was going to put a library there or something, and they refused to sell it. They've had so many multiple offers to buy that place for almost $1 billion. I mean, each
crazy
person that owns one of those units offered over $1 million for each one of them.
They won't budge.
They refused it. Most of them wanted it, but then there was a few on the board, I guess, they said refuse it. So everything they've thrown at them, they just stay there.
Yeah, It's crazy. I want to throw this out, too. You're also doing your own energy drink, which makes sense because you're just obviously full of energy. And I love how you're doing it, too, because it's no sugar, 0 calorie. It is the Vanilla Ice Joy Burst that you can see, that you can try. It tastes like cotton candy with a hint of blueberries. Joy Burst, sugar-free, naturally caffeinated sparkling energy drink, and it's available on Amazon right now.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Amazon, Walmart. It's at all the Walmarts, all the Costco's, all the Kroger's. I know we don't have that here, but most places you can find it. And you can get it at joyburst.com, even vanillaice.com. So, I mean, it's everywhere. This is the new way to do it, man. It's healthy. It doesn't have all the bad ingredients like most of the energy drinks that are out there, and it tastes delicious, and that's the great part about it,
Mm-hmm.
So you pop a can and you're back in the 90s, man. You put your dancing shoes on, put your pep in your step.
I love that. I'm big on those. Yeah, we'll definitely be trying it out. And the other thing, too, is you can do that whole thing where on Amazon, you can click the coupon, and I know Little Smiles is on there, so you could get your Vanilla Ice energy drink and have a portion go to Little Smiles.
Yes, that is a fact.
Yeah.
Little Smiles gets very nice checks from Amazon every quarter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So you've got I Love the 90s tour, you got the TV, you got the energy drinks. Is there anything else? And you're raising a baby girl. So is there anything else we're missing out in your life here, Rob?
Man, when you put it like that, I'm really busy.
You are,
I love it, man. Hey, you guys are awesome, man. You've been great friends for a long time. I appreciate it. And I love all my neighbors here, man. And, we are going to do the big concert that we do every year for the kids, you know, first week of December, week of December, first weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And, we've done that with you guys now for over 20 years. I can't believe that we've been going for a while, man.
Yeah.
We've moved it around and shake and bake, but we're still going, we still do something. And it's really become such a great deal for Little Smiles. And I'm so honored that you guys brought that to me, and Chip and everybody over there doing such a great job with all these, children in the area, and just couldn't be more proud. And Virginia, I know you hold it to your heart as well, so thank you guys so much.
Yeah, we're so appreciative of everything that you do for Little Smiles. I mean, you have been one of our biggest fundraisers for all of the times that you go on Celebrity Family Feud and all of these game shows, and you make Little Smiles your beneficiary. We are so grateful for you.
Mm-hmm. Rob, always good checking in with you, bud. We appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Right back at you guys.
Okay,
Thanks
brother.
for having me on.
All right, man.
Appreciate it. You guys have a good one.
You too. I can't wait to see the new house.
Yeah.
Gotta get that invite.
He does amazing stuff, and he's always on the cutting edge of stuff. It's a great thing, and there's so many seasons you can go back and watch to get ideas, see what he's done, and he always represents, always in Palm Beach County. So love having Rob on. Bird, if you'd wrap us up with your thought for the day.
If you love life, don't waste time, for time is what life is made up of.
The KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.